Good morning and welcome to the Boyle County Fiscal Court this morning, December the 9th, 9 a.m. Madam Clerk, do we have a quorum and has this meeting been properly advertised?
Yes.
All right. If everyone would please silence your cell phones so they don't disrupt the meeting, that would be very much appreciated. And Magistrate Sleeper, if I could get, or Sheriff, would you shut the door, please? If you want to come in, you can. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Magistrate Sleeper, we have you down for the invocation this morning.
Let's pray.
Thank you.
Father God in heaven, as we come together, we pray for all the government officials, whether they be national or state or local. We ask, Lord, that you will grant all grace to us to face the unique challenges that we do. Lord, we ask that you'll give us insight into the needs of our community and discernment to make good decisions and to lead well. Lord, as we celebrate this season of your first advent, may we govern in the spirit of anticipation of your second advent, and may we do our part, Lord, to cultivate a culture that is just and compassionate and prosperous in wisdom. Lord, we ask that you grant protection to our first responders and to the men and women who serve our nation in our military forces, and we ask, Lord God, that your peace would prevail. In the name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Today we have Pledge of Allegiance with Ellie Baston and Alice Wentz. Ellie, what grade are you in? Sixth grade. And Alice? Sixth grade. And you all attend Boyle County Middle School? Mm-hmm. All right. And you've got some people here with you? Who have you got with you? Mom and Dad. All right. Alice? Mom. Okay. All right. Well, if you girls will come up front here, and they are going to lead us in our pledge this morning. And so Boyle County is well represented today. You may begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, girls, thank you. And I have a certificate for both of you for leading the court in the Pledge of Allegiance. Alice, that one's yours. Ellie, this one's yours. If you all would not mind to come over here with me, and we're going to get a picture. How about that? Yeah, hold yours. Come over here. Show us your certificate. There you go. Look at Mom and Miss Julie.
And then she's
And then we're going to turn this way.
Oh, I was like, it doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3.
All right. Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. You all can stay and be entertained, or you're welcome to go back to school. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. All right. Prior meeting minutes of November the 25th. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Magistrate Gay, second by Magistrate
Cullen.
Didn't hear who did that, sorry. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries, minutes are approved. Next we have budget transfers.
I have budget transfers of $19,332.25.
Okay, motion to approve.
So moved.
Magistrate Gay, second, Magistrate Bodner. Any discussion on budget transfers? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Cash transfers.
Several of those. I have from the general fund to the jail, $150,000. From the general fund to EMS, $150,000. From the occupational tax fund to the general fund, $1,906,401.41. And then we have from the road department to the general fund, $881.81. And last is from the general fund to the interest-bearing account, $1 million.
Is that all?
That's it.
Motion to approve.
Make the motion.
Magistrate Sleeper, second by Magistrate Bodner. Any discussion on the cash transfers? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. All right, now we're going to approve the bills.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Alright, today's bill packet totals $2,699,210.59. I need to add one bill to that. It is for ProTech. It was cable repair invoice. They had accidentally cut cables at Public Works. So we had to fix that for $426. That's gonna bring your grand total to $2,699,636.59.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
Make the motion.
Master Harmon, is there a second?
Second.
Master Gay, any discussion on the bills?
Yeah.
Okay, Master Cullen.
Important one on there that I'm glad to see is on there is Boyle County Shop with a Cop.
Yes,
We're donating to that,
yes,
and then they also accept private donations as well.
yes, they do.
So I encourage anyone to open up your wallets because it's a great experience for those kids to go shop with law enforcement.
Absolutely.
So I'm very grateful that you all did that. So,
Yeah.
thanks.
I think the county should help sponsor that Shop with the Cop and
100%.
support our local law enforcement, so yeah, thank you. All right, any other comments or questions about the bills? Motion to approve? Oh, we already had it, sorry. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Elena, appreciate it. All right, every day is a special day, but today is especially special because we have with us today the Class 4A Coach of the Year, Justin Haddix. All right. And we also have the Class A 2025 State Football Champions, the Boyle County Rebels. All right.
We brought a few of our captains, some of our seniors. Very blessed to be here, and some of them that got some awards and are going to
Y'all
be
just line
honored.
up around through here.
Seneca was our Class 4A Player of the Year
That's
in
right.
2025.
Yeah.
He's a junior, so we got him coming back. We got Daryl Yancey. We were looking at Daryl Yancey III. He is he's our All-Area Lineman of the Year, and then he also broke the record for tackles for loss at Boyle County High School. So Tommy Ziesmer had that record, and he tied for the sack leader. So Daryl
That's
Yancey's there.
awesome, awesome.
We got
Congratulations.
John Smith Heisel is ended up he's going to be a Mr. Football candidate. There's 9 candidates. He's going to be up for Mr. Football
All right.
this year as a senior,
All
and
right.
Daryl's going to be up for the Lineman of the Year also for our thing. But a lot of these guys here were all either captains for us, and just really blessed to get to coach these young men. When you look at them and all the hard work that they've worked towards. Jax, if you saw number 13, if you saw somebody play like a wild man, this was him, right? And I think everybody kind of bought into the way that he played and did this. You look at, I can say a little something about all of them. I said Cliff Yoakum was a kid who was injured a little bit earlier. They said, hey, you got to have surgery and do this. He said, no, I'll just wait till after the year to have surgery, and toughed it out and did that with his knee.
That's dedication right there.
Yes,
Yep.
yeah, and was a dominant player for us on both sides of the line. You got Bubby McPherson, who's been here, been a starter for a couple years, and then playing offense, defense, really a lockdown corner for us. Kane Logan's a junior, probably one of the most underrated kids that we had, as far as maybe on the stat sheet didn't show up as much as what some people thought, but he was always making plays for us on offense and defense, and really good player. And then Jakeem Ray is another senior who just continued to get better in a lockdown corner, and then dynamic with the ball in his hands. As far as we could do. Lucas Akers led us in tackles. He's a junior, coming back, playing linebacker. So we went that one. Colt Kelly was a 4-year starter. He's one of the only 4-year starters I've ever had since I've been here, and played on both sides of the line of scrimmage, and really dominant player for us all 4 years. And then Braden Borders Kaufman is a linebacker who's probably 2nd or 3rd, I think, in tackles for us, a junior, but really a good leader for us on defense. And it takes everybody, and everybody wants to talk about these guys don't care about stats, they don't care about any of that stuff. They're blessed with what they do, but I think it's a testament. This year, of any team that I've had, has been really, it took everybody. And our margin of error, maybe we didn't have that big as far as talented above everybody else, but the way that they played together, the way that they came together. And I don't think many people, I told them this, I said after we lost to Lexington Catholic in round 3, I don't think many people thought we'd be standing here but the guys in our circle did, and it's amazing what you can do if you set your mind to it and really focused, and that's what, in today's time, it's all about instant gratification and looking for likes, and it's all about individuals, and to see them buy in as a team and do what they did is really, really special, and can't celebrate them enough in my book.
That's right,
I always
that's
think of them in we talk about living forever, and they'll get this team will live forever, being here, being state champions, so very, very proud of them.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right.
And for the seniors on the team to have their dream come true of winning a state championship, this is the year for that. So congratulations to all of you for the hard work that you put in, the dedication that you put into this football team. And I watch y'all on Facebook and the meals that y'all have. I mean, I haven't been invited to any of them yet, but I'm hoping that I'm going to get an invitation at some point. But you can tell that you all are a family and that you all are a team, and that's what it takes. It takes everybody working together and helping each other and having each other's back. So congratulations, Coach. Congratulations to you all. We have certificates for both of you.
All right.
So the first one is a certificate of recognition for the 2025 Boyle County Rebels football team. In recognition of your outstanding achievements, exceptional teamwork, and unwavering commitment to excellence during the 2025 season, your decisive 34-0 victory over Franklin County to claim your program's 13th state championship and your 5th title in 6 years reflects extraordinary athleticism, discipline, and heart. Your relentless defense, powerful offense, and collective spirit have brought immense pride to your school, your coaches, your community, and to all who wear the black and gold. The grit and unity you demonstrated on the field are a testament to your character and to the strong tradition of excellence that defines Boyle County football. With profound appreciation for your hard work, dedication, and remarkable success, we acknowledge and honor your achievement of being the 2025 Class A state football champions. Congratulations. I don't know how we're going to do this, but I know the court all wants to be in this picture too, so we're going to squeeze in. So, magistrates, if you all can come up and find a spot. And Candy.
Don't get behind center.
Okay. Seneca, you want to hold it up? Okay. You can hold it up the height.
You got some offers?
We're going to face the TV over here. Yeah. So we're going to just kind of line up across.
I've actually never heard y'all.
In here, Coach.
You come out right here.
You need to get up here too.
There you Where's Barry? Barry, you can stand up and I can get you in.
He's comfortable where he is.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Oh, this is great. Okay. Got it.
All right. Congratulations, guys.
All right. Don't leave. All right, we've got a plaque for Coach Haddix as well. So, Coach, there you are. Okay. In recognition of your exceptional leadership, dedication, and outstanding contributions to Boyle County High School athletics since being chosen as head football coach in 2020, you have guided the Boyle County Rebels with integrity and excellence, continuing a proud tradition of athletic success and developing young men of character both on and off the field. Your commitment to teamwork, discipline, and community service has brought 5 state championships to Boyle County and inspired players, families, and fans across the country. With appreciation for your achievements and service to Boyle County schools and Boyle County football, we proudly acknowledge your continued excellence and lasting impact. Thank you.
Judge?
Yes, sir.
I've got a comment on their absolute best fan, and that is Daniel Haddix, the father of the coach.
Yeah.
He is.
Thank you,
He's a
young
good
man.
one.
Appreciate you all.
Go around and shake all the hands. So, make a circle right there. There you go. Before we head out of here.
See you.
Congratulations. I'm Avery and Austin's grandmother.
You're something else, man. I've been watching you all season.
Good job.
God
Avery
bless
and
you,
Austin's
man. Good luck.
grandmother.
You got an order?
This looks kind of
Good.
familiar.
Congratulations.
That call, that,
pass,
I've
that
posted
catch.
that half a dozen times. It's fantastic.
I was as
God bless
excited
you,
as
man.
those little bitty
Congratulations.
kids. Congratulations.
Good to see you, man. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Fun to watch you all play. It's so fun to watch.
Good luck to you.
Avery and Austin's grandma right here.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Fun to watch you.
Passport? No,
Coach said y'all can have the rest of the day off.
I wish.
Thank you. All right. Woo! Cool down a little bit now. It's getting warm in here. We are going to move, don't believe Jennifer's here. Okay, we're going to move the extension board appointments down just a little bit. Jennifer had an appointment this morning, and she'll be here shortly, but we want to wait till she comes. So next we'll have Chamber Director Sarah Pollom. Come and introduce yourself and give us a little update.
I don't have much of an update yet, but I am Sarah Pollom, and it's so nice to meet y'all. I've seen a few of you out and about and this morning and all about. So I'm hoping that the chamber will have a little bit more presence in the county, as you'll see. And if you would love to meet with each of you individually when you have the time. So after the first of the year, if you could set up a meeting, that would be great. I have lots of questions and lots of ideas, and I would love to hear your thoughts on them. So.
We tried to meet already, but it didn't work out, so we're going to reschedule that after first of the year.
Yes, thank you all so much. I appreciate you having me.
Welcome, and we appreciate you coming this morning.
Absolutely.
And then is Magistrate Sleeper. Would you see if Tony Wilder is out in the hall, maybe? Not yet? Okay. All right. We'll move on to CVB. Kendall, welcome.
Morning.
Morning.
So I'll give you all a financial update for our first quarter.
Okay.
And tell you about some things we got going on. So for the past several years, we've been able to increase the revenue goals for the CVB. For the current fiscal year, we just kept them the same as they were for FY25. Kind of tapped out on rooms available for collection of transit room tax, and we already had a really high occupancy rate anyway, so we kept everything the same for this year as far as our revenue goes. So how that looks for our July through September transient tax collections, we collected $79,855.22 toward our overall goal for the year of $355,000. That put us about $8,900 short of where we should be. But that also includes some unpaid transient taxes that we're either still trying to collect or we've collected since the end of the September period. So we're probably a little bit closer, but on paper we're $8,900 short of where we should be.
Okay.
As for our cash on hand, as of September 30th, the CDB had $44,076 in cash at Central Kentucky Federal Savings, along with $40,897 in a CD at Community Trust, giving us total assets of $84,974.32 at the end of the first quarter. So we'll continue to monitor our revenue. If it does appear we're going to be under, we've got things in the budget we can compensate, not do. We've got a few line items for projects that don't have to be done, so it's not going to affect us too much to be a little bit down if that's where we're.
Would you carry them over to the next budget year?
Well, they're projects that we've added that don't have to be done, basically marketing projects that we can either maybe just do a portion of it or just carry it over, maybe do it next year. So, yeah, it's not going to hurt us to do that. So one of the projects we're working on that we're going to hopefully launch in the spring is a passport project. This is something Candace, who's our basically marketing person, has come up with, and it will be very similar to what they've done with the Bourbon Trail and there's a lot of passport projects, but this will be specifically for Boyle County. We've got a number of locations identified. She's sent letters to all of them to ask for participation and a little bit of financial buy-in to help pay for some of the project, which would include a physical passport that people would pick up. You go around to each of the locations and get it stamped. Great opportunity to get people to locations that they may not otherwise go to or have an interest in. Once they get in the door, maybe they figure out that the Dollhouse Museum is not just for children. It's a miniatures museum. But we'll have locations throughout the county. We've sent letters to about 19 locations. We've got several that have already committed. The Battlefield's already committed. We've got some that are taking it to their boards to see if they want to participate, but we're pretty sure this will come to pass, and we'll be able to launch this hopefully in April when people are getting back out and about. Also in the spring, we're going to be participating in a media familiarization tour with the Kentucky Department of Tourism. We had planned to do our own fam tour through our office, which we have a budget line item for that. This is actually going to save us quite a bit of money because we're only having to pay for like one of the meals. The Department of Transportation is going to pay for everything else, but they'll bring somewhere between 5 and 9 members of the media, bloggers, travel writers to Kentucky, and they're coming to different cities. I'm not sure who else is involved, but we're going to be their first stop. They'll come in, they'll fly into Lexington, and they'll truck them here, and then we'll come up with an itinerary, take them to some places that we can get them to, and then put together basically a media kit with everything in there. So if we don't get to a certain location but they're interested in something we have, they'll have that information, provide them photos, and send them on their way. And like I said, it'll just cost us very little money compared to bringing them in ourselves.
That's great, yeah.
Whether it could work or not, when we took over as the county, Constitution Square, we lost our presence on state maps. Could you do a little arm twisting to say when they reprint, my gosh, it's one of the most important sites in all of the Commonwealth.
You're talking about the state road maps they
hand
out?
Yeah, although nobody uses them anymore.
Oh, we still get them, people take them.
I know they do. Yeah.
We're actually out of this year's maps.
That was a great loss in terms of the significance of the battlefield.
Okay, yeah, I'll check on that, see if they can add that. I'm sure they're probably working on the 26 maps right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Along with the media fam tour, we were recently, Danville was, included in the Kentucky Monthly listing of 5 Hallmark Christmas towns in Kentucky. So I've got I should have brought them this morning. I'm sorry, but I've got copies in my office. We're on page 22, full-page feature on Danville and why it's an ideal small town experience for Christmas. We were also recognizing, this wasn't in an article, but every year Bourbon Chase comes through. They come through Perryville, they go to the distillery, they come through downtown Danville, and downtown, right outside the courthouse here, is the major exchange point for Boyle County. And this year, Ragnar recognized that as the best exchange for the whole race, which is 200 miles. They go through several different cities, stop at other distilleries, but this year they recognized us as the best exchange. And every year we talk to a lot of runners.
That's great.
And they just love downtown Danville. They love the experience in Boyle County. They like coming through Perryville because they usually have the commemoration events going on. They think that was a party for them. But
Yeah.
they really enjoy the whole experience of coming
And we
through.
tell them that it is when we're down there.
There's a little prize money involved, which they said it'll probably be many months before we get a check, but we'll just take that money and reinvest it into something a little bit more permanent, maybe buy some banners, some things we can use year after year. But it was a nice honor for the community to be chosen as the best exchange. One other thing we're working on, and with a little luck, we could get some national recognition out of this. Parade Magazine has a contest going on, which a few of you all may have received an email about this from me. It's America's Favorite Small Town. They're doing this in conjunction with the commemoration events of next year. There's over 250 towns from around the country on this contest list, and you go in and vote. You only vote for one town. In the spring, they'll narrow it down to a group of finalists. And since this contest launched, Danville has been on the top 10 leaderboard every single day. So it's just a matter of how many votes are cast, and you can vote once a day.
Where do you vote?
You just go to parade.com.
Parade.com,
And you scroll down just a little bit. It's there on the homepage. You'll see it. Basically, it's 3 clicks. You have your email address. You, I think, select the city and then agree to the contest rules and hit enter. And you can do it every single day.
So for all those listening in YouTube land, please go to parade.com and vote for Danville as the best small town.
Yeah.
All right.
There's only three other cities in Kentucky on that list, and when they do a finalist list, they're gonna choose a state finalist, from what I understand. And all the finalists will be in a special edition they're gonna do. It's a special publication called America's Favorite Small Towns. So even to be in that would be some great free earned media, but I think we have as good a chance as anybody to actually win this, because like I said, it's basically just on how many votes are cast. So everybody just votes every day, get your friends, family, as long as you vote for Kendall.
Yeah, you can vote once a day, once per day, yeah.
Yep.
If you're not voting for Dan, well, don't vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not gonna vote for Dan, we'll
Discourage it.
never mind.
But we're promoting it, Melanie, with the city. She's been putting it on their social media and their pages, and I think Sarah's helping out with that as well.
Okay.
And actually this afternoon, Sarah and I are getting interviewed by a TV station from Lexington that's doing a story about it. So we'll get some
Awesome,
more.
okay, well, we
Yeah,
will make
Fox
sure we,
56.
Yeah, Fox 56.
we'll make sure we get that on our webpage as well.
All right.
Yeah.
And that's it. We're doing, CDD's doing a lot of the marketing for the America 250 events, and helping out with some other groups, brass band, some others to help develop their marketing plans and help them implement those for 2026. So
Okay.
we're heavily involved in all that as well.
What about, is all the signage been taken care of, the wayfinding signs, or?
JJ signed the contract on Monday with Signs Etc. They were the sole bidder.
Okay,
They're the same ones that did the city signs and the ones in Perryville.
okay,
So he signed the contract. I'm not sure what the terms were as far as when they have to have them installed, but I assume it'll be in the next
and that'll be for where?
Junction City.
Junction City, okay,
Yeah.
all right, good deal.
Yep.
All right, any questions for Kendall?
Yeah, with your Airbnb collections and stuff like that, are you able to possibly, as you identified various ones, maybe send them over to Hannah to make sure?
I did.
You do?
I sent her a list a few weeks ago of what we currently have.
Okay. Just want to make sure that they're all following the rules in the county where they have to actually specifically have a zone change for that kind of stuff. So.
Right. Yeah, I sent that, and I can send her, because we get, every time I look at Airbnb, there's new ones that pop up or ones that disappear, so we're constantly adjusting that list. But I think I've had 2 or 3 new ones since I sent that to her, so I'll send her an updated list today.
That'd be great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kendall, we appreciate it. Thanks for the update. All right, Nick contacted me yesterday, and he is sick and was not able to come today, so he is going to reschedule and get back on the agenda for another meeting. So, Jailer Bryan Wofford.
He's out there.
Jailer Bryan Wofford.
Hang on, Beauty. Here he comes.
You are being called to the principal's office. Okay. We've had to move around on the agenda a little bit, so. Is Jennifer out there, Jennifer Bodner?
Yes, she is.
Jennifer, you come on in and we'll do yours while Brian's getting set up. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so it is time to appoint 2 new members to the Boyle County Extension District Board, and I am asking for approval for Jennifer Gaddis and Beth Johson. Beth is at a some type of a livestock show thing today, so she couldn't be here, but Jennifer was able to come. So would like to entertain a motion to approve.
I make a motion.
Second.
Magistrate Bodner, second by Magistrate Ellis. Any discussion or comments?
I will say that's my daughter.
Yes,
Can't tell.
All right.
Partial, yeah.
Okay, that's okay. All right,
Judge,
yes?
I guess it's been about 3 years ago, Magistrate Cullen mentioned Shop with a Cop, and part of my recommendation in nominating or seconding is that it was wonderful that day in Walmart. I hope you remember. That was great.
All right, all those in favor of the motion approving Jennifer and Beth to the Extension Board signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Jennifer, thank you for being willing
Thank you.
to serve. I got you a
Why don't you-
certificate. Hey, we gotta take pictures and everything.
Paula, you wanna get in there?
Paula?
Sure.
Come on, Paula.
Give one.
Fighting the tables.
This is just your packet.
Okay. It's all right. Yeah. All right.
Copy and paste, please.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. All right, thank you all very much. Now, Jailer Wofford.
So as usual, we always like to give you some numbers, and I thought if it was okay with the court, I need to do my end of the year report too, my fourth quarter, just add that to it, it's okay. So currently Boyle, 39, have 69 state inmates and holding one for the other. 35 of the state inmates are SAP, which is 109. We recently had to fix a leak in 221, so the shower was leaking into the cell. It wasn't actual pipe, so we actually had to grind down some walls and redo some stuff on it. So 221 is our biggest cell down the hallway on the left. This is for the past 12 months, these numbers. We've graduated 57 from SAP. MRT is 11, and we have one graduating on December 22nd. So I'm gonna say 12. We've had 9 GED graduates, and our chaplain has baptized 23 inmates. So
Awesome.
that is 101 lives that we've positively, or had a positive impact on at the detention center.
Good job.
So, inmate numbers, can you go through those one more time?
Yep.
I got lost, so.
Yeah. I
Boyle 39, that's
Yep.
county, and then SAP 35, and I'm housing one for other. It's another county that they've come to pick up.
State was 69.
Yes, and then SAP, out of the state inmates, 35 of those are SAP.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So
where I
you
got
get two
lost.
numbers on deal.
That's where I got lost.
Yeah, I was like, I heard 105 too.
Yeah.
So our Class
New
D
math.
community work program, this is for the outside hours. We recorded 6,584 hours of service to the community, which that includes Perryville, Junction, Danville, and the rural areas of Boyle County. So at $18 an hour, if that's what you were paying, we've saved $118,512 is
Good
what
job.
it saved the Perryville, Junction, the whole county. So, and then our Class D building maintenance program, these are the inmates that work inside. 3,280 hours. So basically they do maintenance and repair to the facility at $18 an hour. Basically it saved us $59,040. And then our Class D kitchen and laundry work program is logged in 30,328 hours. And that's preparing meals, cleaning, all that kind of stuff at $18 an hour, which saved us $545,904. So altogether,
That's incredible.
Altogether, that's 40,192 hours with a grand total savings of $723,000 and $456. I'm sorry, $723,456.
Thank you very much.
And currently, we are under budget. We are $382,127 under budget, and you got to take into account that that some of that stuff has already been fully paid for the year, like our workers' comp and stuff. So that's been paid too. So we should come under budget again. As long as nothing unforeseen happens,
Yeah.
and, you know, we
Yeah.
go through. We're currently $19,000 under our medical cost overpool.
It's really good.
Which, yeah, so we're good with that. And I'll need you a copy to make your.
Make
So
my life easier.
the one inmate
So
you
much.
have.
So much easier.
I'm
You
sorry.
said you're holding one inmate for someone.
Yeah, we're just waiting on another county to come pick them up. So they were arrested, say, in Boyle County on, I think it's, I don't even remember the county. So the sheriff, we don't count weekends, but we usually give them a couple days because the sheriff's department had to come pick them up. So I'm not sure what county, I can't remember the county.
Do you charge that county at that point or not? Just
And then they don't charge us. So it's kind of a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah. No.
Now, if it's, we have like Mercer, we did the same thing that we had for Lincoln County because they were kind of going to try to house their inmates for free. And we had to send a letter saying that we'll hold them for 3 days and after that we'll charge you.
Yeah.
And we did the same thing with Mercer County, just so they didn't try to take advantage of us. So, and I'll work with them. If they call and say, hey, we're short, I'll give them a few extra days. So, but that's kind of just a gentleman's agreement among all the jailers that we don't charge each other.
And have you kind of advertised that the jail's open for other places if they need them temporarily held, or what?
No, I haven't. I've been approached by a couple counties, but I think that's something that the fiscal court would probably need to follow up on. I can give recommendations, but I'm just kind of enjoying the peace and quiet right now. So also,
and we're enjoying the cost savings.
Exactly, and it does, when you don't have all the other medical expenses and housing and stuff, with out like the other county we were housing, it shows.
Yeah.
So
And liability risk.
Yeah, there's always that, and then we're the ones that myself and the fiscal court are the ones that get sued. So
That's why they brought them to us.
Yeah.
The courts before didn't believe that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been the old system was a bad business model.
Well, and I think, once we see what legislation is going to pass this year, I think it'll give us a better idea of which way we want to, move forward for the future, especially if we, start building what do we want to do. I think that, the good thing about just housing Boyle County, of course, not count the state right now, is we can focus on them for reentry to make sure they're getting what they need so that that recidivism, the door's not spinning off, and they go back out into the community becoming productive, putting in instead of always taking out. So
I'm glad you brought up the General Assembly is going to be meeting first week of January. We have rarely, but in my 7 years here, we have actually taken action on some legislative proposals not related to jail, but the fact that you were at KCO and your legislative committee was there, if you'll keep us posted, and if you need county support on any developments legislatively, Judge, I'd like to make sure that we're up to date and know what we can do to support what's going on, because as Steve and I know, having walked in with the President of the Senate one time on the jail issue, it's going to get testy regardless of what happens.
Yeah, and I'm going to be on our committee again this year that goes to Franklin, so I'd be more than happy to come back and kind of give you updates of where we're at, who we've met with, and what we kind of need the Magistrates Association and the Judges Association to push along as well, because
and I'm on the legislative committee for the judges too, so
Okay.
we'll both be hearing the same thing.
Yeah. So okay, well that's good.
Just let us know.
But I think that's going to make a big impact if we, or the first time, if we could have the Jailer Association, the Judge Association, the Magistrate Association, all pushing, I think we could get something that'll benefit all the counties. So, also,
Thanks for the update.
All right. So I have two ladies here with the net device.
Yep.
I'm going to let them come up and speak. And Magistrate Cullen, one of them is a magistrate from Franklin, so please be on your best behavior.
I think I've pretty well seen it all.
Maybe not, we'll see, it's gonna be tested, isn't it? If you don't mind, just take one and pass them around. I understand, first of all, hi, I'm Kelly Dykes. I'm with Net Recovery. I'm also a Franklin County Magistrate. And I'm also a mental health counselor. So this,
That's why she's hanging out with Bryan.
that's this is really, really important to me. And my judge says he's hiding under his desk today.
Oh, he is?
Because of our loss.
Well,
just so you'll
send
know.
him my regards.
I will. I give you his
Because
as
he
well.
called me Friday and said, well, y'all gonna win tonight? And I said, well, there's a good, possibility that we will. And he's like, nah, I don't think so. So, James, stay under his desk a little longer.
He jinxed us is what he did. I'm gonna get on him. At any rate, I understand that you all have heard a presentation from Net previously, and that you've heard from Rebecca. who also works with NET, but has also been treated by the device. And so we just want to open it up and let you all ask us any questions that you might have.
Well, I just make a comment that when we first met almost 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Rebecca gave an extraordinary presentation, and it, having been in healthcare administration, it certainly had an effect on what I think we need to do. So glad you're here again. Thanks.
Yeah, she's the star of the show all the time. Yes.
I think when we first started hearing about this, there was still some question about its FDA approval
Exactly.
and concerns, and I think that was a stumbling block
Sure.
at that time. So if you could maybe address that concern and where we stand today.
Page 9 kind of deals with that too.
Yes, so we were FDA cleared. You don't say approved when it's a machine, evidently. You say cleared. I learned that throughout this process, but it has been FDA cleared. We have seen just, no joke, just incredible results. I've had the pleasure in the last week of calling some of the folks across the state that have been treated, because we're going to do some filming in Frankfurt, and it just warms my heart every time I talk to them. Like, they're so excited to tell me how well they're doing. You know, there's nothing that can hurt them with this. They're not becoming addicted to another medication. It's not something they can sell. It's not something that they're cutting with fentanyl. You know, like, it's just, it gives us a non-medication option, which we've needed for years and years, because the way we've been doing it just didn't work. I know that medication saves lives, and it's important, but I think we need another option, and I think this is it.
So we got FDA, we got FDA clearance about 1.5 years ago. And in that time, we've treated 479 people within the state of Kentucky. Kentucky is still the only place that the NET device is available, so it's a very unique opportunity for Kentucky specifically. Since we got FDA clearance, we've opened it up to also treating in the detention centers, so we're excited to finally be talking to Boyle County about the possibility of doing that. We're currently at 7 detention centers. Originally, when we had first started this process, we had only been treating at Isaiah House. We have since opened that up. We're in Isaiah House, and also Altogether Recovery, which you know is here in Danville. And then also we have a recovery housing model for people that maybe aren't exactly residential treatment candidates, like if they're using medication and they've been on it for years and they want to come off of it, but they essentially have their lives back together. They have families and jobs and things that going into residential treatment isn't exactly suitable. We have a recovery housing model in 2 locations here in Kentucky that they can just go use the treatment and return back to their lives without having to sign up for like a 30-day program. And we've seen a lot of success in those different ways that we're trying to give as many people access to treatment as possible. We were a little limited at first, but we've since opened it up, and so.
Studies keep you from doing everything you want to do. We've got everything had to be exactly the same, and now it doesn't. And so, yeah, we're able to treat in lots of different places.
Could you talk about the different, like, there was one of the questions the last time, it's not just for opioids, but it can be used for others as well.
Yeah, so we use it, so it's for polysubstance use. So you know, they call it a program, which took me a minute to understand, but this device can be programmed for different drugs and different groups of drugs. And so we don't know of anything else that does that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it could be for like singular substances. So I can promise you that most people that need to be treated, it's not just a single substance, it's generally a group of things. But if somebody is using heroin, we have a program for that. If they're using methamphetamine and fentanyl, we have a combination program for that. So, and one of the really great things about the treatment is our net techs, our employees that put the device on people and then meet with them twice a day for the duration of treatment, which is generally 3 to 5 days. It could be up to 7, but it's generally 3 to 5. They meet with them twice a day, and because we focus so much on the withdrawal symptoms that the person is experiencing, we can change the programs to address specific things. So if they're going through treatment and it seems like their fentanyl withdrawal symptoms are completely gone, but they're still having these meth withdrawal symptoms, we can switch it and we can pivot so that we can target those specific things. Another really good thing about that, since we focus so much on the withdrawal symptoms, is we start to see things that are coming into the supply that other people aren't aware of yet. So we're used to what fentanyl withdrawal looks like. We're used to what heroin withdrawal looks like, meth withdrawal. Those are things that we've seen so many times. So when we start to see these other symptoms come in that aren't lining up with those substances, we start to realize, wait a second, there's something else coming into the supply. So one of the big things I'm sure you guys have heard about it is xylazine. There's another one that's now making its way into Kentucky, metatonidine. These are like vet adulterants that extend the withdrawal symptoms and make them worse generally. But we've been able to kind of like start like ahead of the game and like and make programs to start tackling those things too.
So remind us again, sorry, Magistrate, how the device works.
So it's
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So
I wish I had one with us.
I know. It's a device that's about the size of a cell phone. It's attached to two lead wires that are attached to two really small adhesive electrodes that get taped behind the ears, both sides, completely non-invasive, nothing's going under the skin. Essentially what it does is while people are out there using the drugs that they're using, they're dependent on the substances to create those neurotransmitters, endorphins, things that we're supposed to be naturally producing. When they take the drugs away, the reason that they go through the intense withdrawals and the intense cravings is because their brain just isn't producing those at the rate that they're used to.
Mm-hmm.
What the net device does is, like, if you kind of think about it like a TENS unit, like you put a TENS unit on your muscle and it stimulates your muscle, the net device stimulates your brain to start producing those things immediately. So it helps to alleviate those withdrawal symptoms and it brings you back to a normal state much quicker than if you were just doing it cold turkey and just waiting for it to go. Mm-hmm. Long-term opiate addicts, once they take the drugs away, it could take up to 2 years to finally get out of that fog. You know, like even if they're not using, there's still just this fog that's on them.
So how long would an inmate use the device, like per day, and then
so they
eventually wean off of it?
They would wear the device for 24 hours a day for the duration of the treatment.
Okay.
Treatment can be up to 7 days, but generally what we see is about 3 to 5. Okay. And it's dependent on the person really and what they've been using, how long they've been using it for. And so that's what our net techs do when they meet with them twice a day and they see where their withdrawal symptoms are, their craving levels. When those start to get really low, that's generally a sign that treatment is starting to be complete. Another thing that we'll see is they'll start to have off periods on the device. They'll be like, okay, I'm going to see if I turn this off, if it doesn't come back, you know. And so we kind of just gauge it person by person.
Okay.
For those of us who are very uneducated, the multisyllable new ones that you've mentioned there, do any of those relate to mushrooms? Psychedelic mushrooms?
Not that I've seen.
Not these.
I bring it up because last night on the national news, and it just rang a bell immediately because I thought, this didn't just happen. 2 years ago, a pilot in the jump seat, and I think he was with Alaskan Airlines. You're remembering the story. It was featured last night on the news, and I have a prejudice against what they reported at the end. But he's been prosecuted, he's served time, and now he is an advisor about that aspect. Does net recovery look all the way into new things like psychedelic drugs?
Absolutely.
I mean, mushrooms.
And like she was saying, like they, honestly, and it's been amazing to me being on this team and watching this, they know before anybody else knows when there's a new drug in our system. They know because they can tell by the different ways that people are behaving.
So it doesn't have to be admitted by the patient.
No, and they do drug tests. So We know what's in their system. And if we find a drug that's not being drug tested for, we will do that ourselves. We don't leave that.
Yeah, and that's one of the things like we did at Isaiah House. They were not tested for xylazine, and we were starting to see things that just weren't making sense, and so we brought in our own test strips. I don't necessarily know that we have like a program for psychedelics exactly.
It'll come.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
it'll
sure
have
it will.
to.
I'm sure it will.
And I was so stunned, but it's also a prejudice of many, many decades ago where you wouldn't even employ anybody.
Right.
Even with something as, not to a less degree, but alcoholism.
Right.
And for them to report that this pilot now is an advisor, having progressed, was just pretty remarkable to me, and yet I'm sure it's needed. So.
Absolutely.
Pastor Gay?
Okay, so how are you all in Franklin County utilizing the devices, and how are you paying for it?
So we're using our opioid funds, and we are, I think we've treated, I don't know how many, we're treating in the jail. It's gone really, really well. And I'm actually waiting for my court to vote again to get more money in so that we can treat more individuals. Our jailer loves it. She thinks that it works really well. She is someone who has told me she is not a fan of MOUD. Like, she doesn't like the medication. She doesn't want to have to do that in the jail. So this works really well for our jail.
What's the cost per inmate?
It depends. It depends, and I'm not going to talk about cost. I will.
It's $5,500 per person.
Per person,
treatment,
okay.
Yeah.
I'll let her
Now,
say that. I'm not going to say it.
Now, I understand there's a grant though that may be able, the jailer.
Well, that's what we're
Working on.
applying for
Yes,
now, is working
yes.
for the opioid. But here's the thing.
To help
and
cover
we
the
were
cost.
talking about this out in the hallway. Let's say we don't get the grant. Well, my budget's coming up. I would like the fiscal court to consider having money set or added to my budget for this. And here's why. I would like to work with the county attorney, maybe the judge, and say, hey, let's do a diversion program where if they come in and they meet the criteria and able to do this, and they go through their 3 to 7 days, and then they're released to go to treatment. Because what this is going to do, this is going to reduce or take away the craving. So when they go to treatment, they're not going to be sitting there craving this substance.
They're not trying to get out.
Right.
Yeah.
It's going to give them a better success for completing treatment, because the treatment, the whole goal of it is to get to the root, not the symptoms. Okay, the trauma that's causing them to abuse and want to self-medicate. It's going to lower our costs because, one, it's going to keep, that's less time they're going to have to stay in the detention center and us feed them, take care of them medically, pay everything that it costs. So it's going to reduce their time in stay. So I think, you know, I've used the numbers before. For every dollar we invest, our ROI is like $4.75. So we're going to save, and I just showed you what we've been saving here, but I think if we do follow through with this and implement it, we can work. And I think, Chris, would you be willing to look at something like that for, if we can work out a plan, do like a diversion, if they come in, they start this, and they successfully complete it, then go to treatment? And
yeah, we can talk about that.
Okay.
Is this device something where if one person uses it and moves on, can it be reset for another person?
Exactly. Yeah. You
use it
load,
over and over.
yeah, you load it with a specific program to the individual. When they're done wearing it, you erase it, and then it's reused again.
But part of the cost is, though, they actually come in and apply it and monitor it and do everything. So my staff doesn't, we're not trained to deal with all that. So their folks come in and actually do the program. So what I would do is I would take 2 cells. I'd take a cell for men and a cell for women. And so that way they're in there with others on the device for 3 to 7 days. So we would bring them out of general population. They have their own special cell, so they're all in there together. But they come in and monitor the program. They apply the leads, do all that kind of stuff.
Does Medicare or Medicaid?
Not yet.
Oh, they
We're
don't
working on
work,
it.
Okay.
But you know, like I said, it's only been cleared for a little over a year.
Okay.
It takes a little while to get there. Yeah.
And that's
definitely.
and that's the issue, that now that it's cleared, 3 years is a long time, but 3 years is also very short in terms of what you've progressed and done. As I look around this table, it's remarkable when we go to both KCO and KMCA meetings. Folks around this table interact with the hierarchy of those two entities, and I doubt that the spring schedules are taken care of totally for either one. It's time, and if we need to talk to Jim Henderson, if we need to talk to a guy named J.C. Young, you might know it.
JC loves it. JC loves
we
it.
need to get you back on the agenda, because they report every time we transition that as many as a third or even more of the folks out there in the audience of 570 of us are new. And around this table, we have people who have not seen your presentation at that level.
Well, and I will tell you that I actually did talk to JC because he's in Frankfurt, so he's easy for me to get to. And I went and met with them for a couple of hours, and he is going to let me do a presentation for everybody at one of the probably one of the spring conferences.
That would be the one, yeah. Ideally.
Magistrate Boner?
And Bryan, what's your goal? How many devices do you
Well,
want?
like right today, my county inmates are 39. So I've budgeted, or what we're asking for on the grant, to be able to do 50. And that's looking at other jails. This is starting out, because not everybody can, just because they're in there doesn't mean they'll be qualified to do that. There's a process they have to go to see if they're at the point, okay, hey, are you actually ready, wanting to get better?
And not everybody is in there on drug-related charges.
Exactly,
either.
correct.
Yeah.
So my goal was, what I'm asking for is to do 50 over the year. And that's just a starting point. You know, we may say, well, with our numbers going down, we may need to do less the next year, or we may need to increase it. But here's the thing, as Boyle County, everyone in this room knows treatment works. I mean, look at my numbers today. Barry was at 400. And we wouldn't be here today if it hadn't been for Barry picking up the baton and saying, hey, we're going to focus on treatment. And so we know it works. So this is just another option, you know, without having to use trading a drug for a drug.
So let's break down the cost. So do we have to buy the equipment?
No, it's our equipment. We bring it in.
The equipment, it's the treatment.
It's the
per
treatment itself,
It's
right.
$5,500 per treatment.
I understand.
Okay, it's not the equipment.
No, I get that. I'm just trying to.
Although they do make the equipment, so that is part of the cost for sure. It's the equipment and then the person being trained to come in and use the equipment on each individual.
So kind of what Chris was saying is that, you know, we get the equipment and then you wipe it out and use it again. It's not our equipment, so it's $5,500. So if you're looking for 50 people, we're looking at, you know, $275,000 this year.
Well, I think we've asked for $250,000 in the
grant.
grant is what we're asking for.
Yeah. So like 25,000.
Out of our grant or the grant that we're applying for?
Yeah, grant that we're applying for. Yeah. And then it'd leave 25,000 that we could, if it were
Which I think would
approved,
make sense.
come out of the opioid money.
If they would make sense out of some of our opioid money, I just would hate to deplete the whole thing.
25,000 wouldn't deplete it.
No, I know, but 275 would.
Yeah, but I mean, hopefully we're gonna get the grant.
Well, that's what I'm saying too, you know.
But if we don't.
But that's something, you know, as this money comes available, that's something, you know, I think the fiscal court needs to be saying, hey, we need to fund these programs. Let's try to get our share of it.
Well, we can't deplete it all because we have salary coming out of it.
Right.
Yeah, so, but we can work on the numbers, you know, if you don't get the grant, then we can look at our opioid money and we can work on the numbers, take the salary out of it and see what we have left and what other programs that we want to sponsor as well. And
But that gets us through a year.
Yeah.
So we're not going to get opioid money or the amounts we're getting every year. So we can't treat it like a grant. We're going to get grants for it.
Well, eventually, I think this is something that if we see, that's why I want to try it with the grant money, because we don't lose anything. And then if we see success there, then we know, okay, hey, this is going to save us on the other end because they're not staying in jail. We're not having to do all the medical care. We're not having to pay for the surgeries and everything else. So, you know, I think it'll be a cost benefit to the county.
Magistrate.
Remind us where the money for the grant is coming from.
The opioid settlement money. So
it's the state.
It's
the state.
It's from the state's
Yeah,
spot.
there's two pools. So like
Okay,
each
it's from the
county
state
receives.
spot. Yeah, because that's where I do think that's another, to me, it sounds like another thing we need to really keep working with the state to
Okay, so I'm just
this.
gonna throw this out there if it's okay. Maybe I shouldn't, but I'm going to. So Ned has written a lovely grant, a very large grant, to the state, so that we can have more treatments for the jails and the treatment facilities that we partner with now.
Right.
So that's our hope, is that we can help all of you, we can help all of us in the state afford more treatment, so we can really see what the recidivism rate's gonna look like. We know it's really low. We know that just from the last couple of years. So we wanna see more long-term results and what that's gonna look like, and so we're asking the state to help us do that.
Yeah, and that's where I think once we get this program going at a higher level, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, a more broad-based level, then that hopefully will help with the data and the numbers, and then that will help the state make, and all of us make better decisions moving forward.
I agree.
Is this something we could, if we don't get the grant, is it something that we could do at a smaller level until, you know?
That's something we could look at, because my budget's gonna be coming up, I have to have it approved by April.
Right.
1st.
Right.
So that's something I'd like, if we don't get the money, hey, let's start somewhere, let's pick a number, and, you know, and let's try to work for a year on it, so.
Especially with Boyle County's location, like, because we kind of have a cluster, if you look at that map, we kind of have a cluster of like in central Kentucky, so Boyle County fits right in the middle. And I did just want to say one thing, as somebody that is now in long-term recovery, but that struggled for many years with addiction and had tried all of the different things, in and out of rehab 9 times, in and out of jail, tried medication, tried everything. This was the one thing that finally made a difference for me. And honestly, kind of like what Bryan was saying, was it really brought me to a foundation that I hadn't had in a very long time, and it brought me there a lot quicker than I had ever experienced before. And I feel like that is a big part of the reason why I was able to be successful. I just celebrated 4 years last month.
Congratulations.
To look back at where I was, never in a million years would I have guessed. And so it's very near and dear to my heart. And this specific court is very near and dear to my heart because I've been a Boyle County resident for about 3 years now. And so I appreciate you guys giving us the time and consideration. And
I think our finance officer has a question.
Oh, yeah.
You said it's $5,500 per treatment. Does that, say you have somebody who comes in off the street that's on just meth, they're just on one drug, and their treatment plan is 10 days. 10 days of the net recovery device or whatever. But you have somebody who comes in who is on meth and heroin and had another drug. And it's longer than 10 days because the heroin...
It won't be longer than 10 days.
It generally won't be longer than 7. So for most of the treatments, we've had one kind of outlier that ended up being 10 days that we had to kind of extend. But for any treatment, generally, 7 days is the end of the treatment period. Like
the average is 3.5 days, if that helps you at all. Like some people only need it for 2 or 3 days. Some people need it for the full 7, and it doesn't really seem to matter whether it's one drug or more than one drug. It's just the person. Has anybody in here ever heard of EMDR? You guys ever heard of that? Okay, so EMDR works on bilateral stimulation, right? I do this every day in my office. It's very, very similar. It works in a very similar way. And when these electrodes are on, it pulses bilaterally, just like you do with EMDR. It's amazing. I mean, it's amazing. And you can, there are so many testimonials now and information online now that you can go and look that up much easier than you used to be able to. But I will say, as a magistrate, being able to cut the recidivism rate is super important to me. It's super important to our jailer. We know how expensive jail is. And we know how expensive it is when somebody goes in over and over and over. we're not seeing that once people are treated. Like, we just rarely see that.
Are you doing term studies on these people?
We are.
I mean, you're keeping good track.
We just
So-
started doing that.
So that, it was something that we definitely ran into some hiccups with. In the beginning, we were trying to figure out the best approach to be able to follow up with people. As you can imagine, this population is a little difficult to keep in touch with. Some may be homeless, go multiple phone numbers, different things. And so we had tried at first an app that they could download on their phone. We didn't have a whole lot of engagement with that. So we recently implemented a process where we're collecting as much data as contact data as we possibly can at the end of treatment when they're clear-headed. Literally every single thing that we could get, and we're going to be conducting those 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, 1 year follow-ups to see not only have they used again, but do they have stable housing? Have they been incarcerated? Did they get a job? Did they rekindle
they reunited with their
relationship?
family. Yeah.
So
You mentioned the job, and that would be one of the most important cells of data that would help persuade reluctant folks,
That's right.
like some of us have been in past years. I just think that would be so valuable if you can find that.
And one of the other things that we're working on currently is an entirely separate study from the original trial. So the original trial concluded in 2023, and right now we're in the process of doing long-term follow-up for every participant that was in the trial. So we're concluding that actually this Sunday at 11:59 p.m. I know because I'm very heavily involved in it. But all of those people that we're following up with, it's now been 2.5, 3 years. Some of them a little bit more than 3 years. So we're going to be collecting all of that information on all of those points.
How? So somebody goes through the program. Do you see where they'll have to go through it again at another point, or is it just a one and done kind of thing, or?
The only reason that they would need to use it again is if relapse occurred, which it does. We're not claiming that every single person that uses it is definitely not going to use again. There's still that choice that has to be made. If relapse occurs, then they do have the option of using it again. It's not like you can only do it once kind of a thing, but it's not something that you have to return to do if that does not occur.
So, and let me just, because this was the part that kind of boggled my brain when I first heard this, but it literally takes them back, their brain chemistry, back to before addiction. I mean, just think about that. Think about the choices people make when they're not in active addiction versus the choices they make, which really are not choices. Because their brain chemistry, this addiction, it is telling them what to do all the time, right? They no longer have a choice. Once they're treated, they have a choice. They're not craving anymore. So they get to decide, do I want to move my life forward or do I want to go back and use? And very few do because the craving's not there. And they know what that life was like. And they now have a choice to change it, which they didn't have before. And many tell me they don't have on medication. They still feel stuck in that because they're having to take something over and over and over again, which has saved a lot of lives. I'm not saying it's not worthy, but we have a different choice now, and it gives them more choice. And I think for me, that we don't find that anywhere else.
Well, you think of it this way, and Barry has seen this. So you have a 23-year-old in detox who is going through withdrawals, throwing up, defecating on themselves, just miserable, sick. Okay, they finally get through that, you get them cleaned up, and they're released. Are they more likely to go and get high again or go to treatment? They're more likely to go get high again because they're still craving that drug, even though they just went through the most terrible thing they probably ever experienced mentally and physically.
Yeah.
But they're going to go right back to it. So with this, if it takes away the craving, it just helps them walk out the door and be set up to go through treatment and be successful.
Well, and we know, we have the numbers that show that they stay in treatment longer. They're more clear-headed, they get more out of it. It's just, they're not going in and being there for 3 or 4 days wanting to do well. Because they do, they go in wanting to do well. But that craving just won't stop. And so they, you know, they do whatever they have to do to get out. And this keeps that from happening for the grand majority of them.
And if you can build that foundation while they're incarcerated and just like you said, then, you know, release them to treatment, because again, we're not claiming, you know, that the net device is all they need. But if they can get that while they're incarcerated and then go to treatment with a clear head and with, you know, just that clarity of mind, being able to truly absorb all these things, I feel like that's true
That was
rehabilitation.
one of the stipulations I would put on it, that if they use the net device, and we pay for that, they have to go to treatment. That they're gonna be required to go to treatment. So that's, you know, because you've gotta treat the root, not the symptom. If you don't take care of the root, then the symptoms are just gonna keep coming back.
Right.
So that would be a requirement that I would like to put on it.
Well, and I don't know how you feel about IOPs, but,
Yeah.
you know, I used to really struggle with intensive outpatient programs because the folks that I worked with would say, yes, I'm gonna do that. They would, you know, not have to, because they had kids and they had a job and they had all these things that they didn't want to leave. And they couldn't go into rehab for 30 days or 60 days or whatever. It used to bother me because they typically did not do well in outpatient, right? Because they still were craving. Now IOP makes sense. Now IOP can work because they're not craving anymore. They're learning in IOP, but they don't necessarily have to be, you know, locked down somewhere for a month or two.
And that's kind of why I'd like the county attorney to be involved in this, to do some kind of diversion. So if they agree to this, then he can hold their feet to the fire, that
Right.
if they don't go to treatment, then they violated their conditions of release and they can come back.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
I assume the cravings of anyone who has fought through and has now lived 5, 6, 7, 10 years, they're still there.
Yeah.
What percentage of those people, if it was ever measurable, never go back? Is it 10% of people cure themselves or go through a traditional program and go the rest of their lives? Because I can't imagine that
It's
it
about
is.
one.
It is
1%?
so low you can't. That's what I'm saying. What we've been doing doesn't work. It's not working. And I feel like, you know, people have worked very hard on all of this. I'm not, you know, in any way putting down what they've tried to accomplish, but it's not working. And so we have to have another choice. Like
See,
we just do.
that question takes me back to the prejudices of the past. And so you employ the 100%, and only 1% never fail, and they can be in very dangerous positions. So this is the great gates of Kiev open up
It is.
to something that we talked about 3 years ago, and we didn't succeed as a court. But it's more than pretty dramatic.
Well, Kelly, Rebecca, thank you all.
Thank
for
you all
presenting
so
and-
much.
I actually still have more of a question.
I'm sorry.
I
Okay,
didn't get
Master
to
Cullen,
finish.
go ahead.
Sorry, that's what I was trying to say when I was asking these questions.
Okay.
So, did you say before you were only gonna let, like, a person that comes through, if we give you 50, or if you know, the funding for 50, you'll, if they come through your facility, you'll only let them go through the program once?
well,
Is that-
that's the way what the other jails are doing. So,
Okay.
now, not everybody will qualify for it, so they have to go through, so that'll be part of their process of coming in and saying, you know, you're not quite ready there to help you. You know, we don't want to waste this money, we want to be good stewards of it, but we want to make sure we're helping those that want to help themselves.
All right, and then that brings me to my next question is, so if we do know that time to time people will go from jail to jail, I mean, they're chasing their addiction, so they may end up in Boyle County. So you all will have like a list of if these people have actually been on this program or tried this program before, and advise him to make sure we're not, you know, they're not double dipping, and also we want to make sure that, you know, we're trying to get to a point where we're only dealing with Boyle County, you know, people, and we want to make sure that if we're going to use Boyle County tax dollars for this program, that we want it to not just, we don't want to take this away from somebody else, that Boyle County.
We'll only treat Boyle County residents. So if a Jefferson County resident came into Boyle County jail, unfortunately, they wouldn't be eligible to use Boyle County funds for it. If a Boyle County resident was in Oldham County Jail, they wouldn't be able to get it in Oldham County Jail. So only a Boyle County resident would only be treated in Boyle County Detention Center.
And how long do you think Medicaid, Medicare would possibly?
It's hard to say. I would say probably at least another year.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
lengthy process. Although I will say we are looking into a kind of a off-market use for stimulants because there is nothing else. And so the FDA may allow us. We don't know yet. They're looking into that because there just isn't anything else really. So we're hoping that they'll allow us to use it. And if that happens, Medicaid, Medicare, and private insurance may get on board faster.
Yeah.
So, fingers crossed, right?
And last thing is, if you want, we can make sure we get your judge signed autograph picture from our coach at the next conference. We'll send that over for y'all.
You do that? That would tickle me, really.
All right, has everybody had their questions answered?
I'm gonna leave my cards
Okay.
here if you want one.
Yeah, we'll pass them around.
Thank you guys
Yeah.
for your time.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. So thank you all for giving us this time. I know we took up quite a bit of time, but you all know this is something I'm very passionate about, treatment, and this is something we need. We've had success with it. I just want our county to continue to have success.
And we'll have further conversations. We'll wait until we see about what happens with the grant and then how that works and if we need to regroup and decide something else. So
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you. If I don't see you, Merry Christmas.
thank you. Merry Christmas. We do have one more meeting this month though, so.
I'm not on that. I'm not gonna be on that one. I got everything done today.
All right, we are going to back up now on the agenda and we are going to welcome Tony Wilder with America's 250 Committee. Safe travels, you all.
Thank you.
Judge, thank you very much. Appreciate you all allowing me to visit. The opportunity is always welcome. I must admit that I might have been expected a bit earlier, but,
It's okay.
but old habits die hard. When I presided here, we started at 10.
10 o'clock, 10 o'clock, yeah.
So I'm a bit unaware of all that right now. Let me pass this out to you.
All right, thank you.
What you're about to receive is a working budget that I put together as we've now developed these core events and some other activities we're going to do. Things are becoming into focus a bit more about the costs. There's still some items on there that I don't know exactly what it's going to cost to do. But this month marks a year ago that we had our first organizational meeting. And the consensus was then, and remains firmly now, that this has got to be special. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate the local governments. I appeared before your colleagues last night at the city. How much I appreciate the local governments embracing this, because it's important. You know, we gave the Pledge of Allegiance down at the city last night, and I'm sure you opened with the same pledge.
Yeah.
And it reminded me, when you make that pledge, it reminded me to emphasize the importance and value of what we're doing for this event and the 250th birthday of this great country. So, as I've told you, Judge, many times, I appreciate the opportunity to chair this event. We're a bit probably more ambitious than people may think that we would have been, but I think everybody's going to be pleased with what we're doing. Now, if you look at this, I'm talking here to give you a little time to look at it. You know, when the last time I was here, we mentioned some of these core events. Two things I want to talk about. There's two new events that we're going to add, and I swore to the committee that I wouldn't add any more because this is, you know, the whole year, to pull this off, you need a lot of coordination and a lot of logistical acumen. But I got to say, this event, you'll see proposed new event on the first page, the second item. In working and trying to find, I believe our parades ought to reflect a lot of variety of things. So when we do this 4th of July parade, I think number one, we ought to have an Uncle Sam on stilts, if I can find it, and an Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Now, I have been in conversations with, and it's not, and I made the mistake of saying Abraham Lincoln impersonator. That's not proper. It's Abraham Lincoln presenter. And we have a couple in Kentucky that are real famous. And Kendall turned me on to one fellow who just happened to retire from Anderson County. And he turned me on to another guy in Louisville, actually in Oldham County, who couldn't do it. He's going to be in Lincoln, Nebraska on 4th of July to present. But he told me about a gentleman in Nashville. His name is Jacob Truax. You all can look him up. There's a whole website on Lincoln presenters. And this Jacob Truax is absolutely excited to come to Danville for our parade.
Wow.
Now, he is, get a look at him. He is a dead ringer. He apparently is a great performer. And he also does something called An Evening with Abraham Lincoln. Now, his wife also portrays Mary Todd Lincoln. So we're going to get two for the price of one on the parade. Now, here's what I'm thinking. It hit me just immediately. You know, our friends in Forkland, and I have a long history with them myself. When I was judge, we got a grant or two to help them restore the community center, and I've always felt a great love for that area because of the rural energy. People that really care about where they live and about their heritage. And, well, everybody knows here, I'm sure, that Lucy Sparrow, Abraham Lincoln's grandmother, is buried in the ground in the Forkland area. And that little museum down there is special to them. So I have to think, my goodness, we're trying to do events everywhere in our community. Wouldn't it be neat to have Abraham Lincoln come to the community center and do this evening with Abraham Lincoln? Now, let me tell you about this guy. After this event, in between and coming to the parade on July 4th, he's going to be performing not the Globe Theatre in London, but one of the famous theaters in London, England.
Oh, wow.
So this guy is really good. And
do we have him locked in?
He's locked in.
Good.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to send him the papers today to lock him in. And I was very pleased that I was able to get a room comp for him on both occasions at the bottom bed and breakfast.
Oh, wow.
Which he's very excited about, coming to the historic town of Perryville and staying in the historic Bottom House. So that's one event. That's one event that's going to be new. And we're looking forward to that. And we'll be promoting it. And those folks down in Forkland always draw a crowd. And I think this will be an important crowd too. And it's in April, and there's some very important dates in April related to Abraham Lincoln. Not only the end of the Civil War, but his assassination on the 15th. And so I think it's all going to really interact together.
Yeah,
so
that'd be great.
And the second one, a proposed event, down at the bottom of the first page. As you all know, Center has always hosted the Governor's Scholars. Now there's 800 Governor's Scholars on campus when that happens. And I thought how it'd be neat. We have these incredible minds all captured at one time. Wouldn't it be neat to fold in an event for our 250th with those kids on campus? So Kit Masterson Brown, who produces the film that you know about and I've talked about before, has consented to lecture the Governor's Scholars along with the general public. We'll invite the general public as well on the signers. He has created an amazing amount of research and presented it online on this Witnessing History website. And it's all about the signers. He's chronicled their life from the early Declaration of Independence through the Revolution and what those signers faced and how they lived and what they sacrificed and how they were terrorized. They could have been hung at any time. And it's important that these young minds, because I don't think we talk about this enough in school. And so I think there'd be a great opportunity for us. So that still remains to be worked out because the Governor's Scholars is a state agency. And we're working with partnering with Center. And so that would be sometime in June, in the middle of June, because that's when they're on campus. I must tell you too that you'll see in here that you're going to get an account of what we spent, your money, the $33,333 that you conveyed to the Economic Development Agency, our fiduciary. You'll see what we've spent. We're down to about $8,000. In this document, you will have it detailed about what we expect to spend. Obviously, the Eddie Montgomery concert is the big money concert. And I'm going to be asking Sheriff Bottom and Chief Gray and probably the city manager and the judge and Tommy Barton. I'm going to try to join them in a committee because now it's getting close. We've established the other things. I think we got things in pretty good order. We got to now plan for the logistical issues that are going to occur from this concert. Now we have experience. The fireworks night out there is a pretty big night. There's a lot of people there. I'll bet you at some point there's 10,000 people out there.
There's a lot.
At least around.
Yeah.
And the parking, and they find places. But this time for this 2-hour concert, we're probably going to have an organizational approach to it. So we may have to, and that's going to be 2 nights for law enforcement. Going to be a lot of overtime. You take the 3rd concert night plus the 4th.
Yeah.
So we may have to hire a parking management firm. And Paula, if I'm not mistaken, somebody told me you all contacted somebody to handle your parking at one time.
Yes, and they actually have something else I'll talk to you about, another organization that's interested, so I can talk to you about that.
And of course, if you've ever been to concerts, you know there's always a security firm there representing somebody. So we may have to look into that, but I want to make sure that our law enforcement and our elected leaders understand that we're going to handle that. So that's important.
So that would be on the 3rd and the 4th.
Yeah, the 3rd is the concert night.
Yeah.
The 3rd is concert night. There may be an issue, and this is more of an issue with Tommy Barton that we'll have to work out with the park, but we may not be able to keep the stage set up for the 3rd concert into the 4th. So Tommy usually has music out there for 4th of July too. So we'll see. It may be a little bit more expensive to keep it, and he may have to take it somewhere else too on the 4th. So we're working on that. The gentleman who is providing our staging and sound and lighting also does brass band, and he's out of Monticello, as a matter of fact. It's called Pro Audio Video, and just a neat guy to work with. So that is booked as well. We've got the stage and lighting and sound covered. Now, you all probably, Kendall, and this guy here has been invaluable in helping. He and Candace have just been great to work with, and really depending on them to help me get through this thing and pull it off and execute on what we're going to do. But and you'll see in there on the 2nd page at the bottom, something called swag items and memorabilia. And I told them last night at the city I didn't know what swag meant. Is that an acronym? Or? No, it's
just a new term.
Okay.
This is swag.
Yeah, okay.
This is swag.
Okay, well now lapel pins, magnets for your refrigerator or anything metal that you want to put it on, please distribute it all you can. I presume we brought some up here.
Right here.
Okay, hold back there. Okay, good deal.
Swag bag.
Swag bag.
And we're gonna also bring some rack cards up here. We need to place them somewhere in a prominent place. So because now it's time to start promoting and marketing. We don't want to have nice events with nobody coming. So I've been on WHR already. On Joe
Show.
What's his last name?
Mathis.
Yeah, I've been on his show. We'll probably be on a few more times. We're going to work in some other public appearances. Obviously, we're going to hit print media and broadcast media. And of course, the thing that we've all experienced, the evolution of online. And it's amazing what Facebook will do. And so we're going to do that pretty heavily. But March 17th will be our first core event. The educational outreach activity and project that Maggie McAdams and Lauren Klontz and folks at the library and at the McDowell House are doing will probably start about February or March. Into the schools we're going to go and do some educational outreach about the 250th and all the related history things about what this means for our country. So take a look at this. If you have any questions later, please let me know. I did miscalculate on the swag items. That's where I was going to go. I have $10,000 there. It's apparently it's going to be about $5,000 because I didn't count the lapel pins. And you'll also see the numbers that we ordered in this document.
You mean $15,000?
$15,000.
Yeah.
Yes,
instead of 10.
for swag and all the stickers and logos and T-shirts and coffee mugs. Now our coffee mugs are still in transit.
They're in Chino, California, right?
Chino, California, and you're going to see these coffee mugs are an attractive mug. So we'll probably end up giving away. Most of these have been designed, or it's what we decided to give away as part of our celebration. But we're probably going to have some to sell in various shops around town. So you'll find them very attractive. There was we don't have a picture of the cup, do we?
No, not yet.
Okay. But that's pretty much what I wanted to convey to you this morning.
We have a meeting today.
And we have a meeting today at 2 o'clock.
RECC.
Yes, at RECC.
Everybody
So,
welcome.
Thank
you have
you,
any
that's what I
questions?
wanted, that's, I wanted to see the numbers, see
Yeah.
what they were, so that was good.
Well, that's what I thought I would
Appreciate
do.
it.
You mentioned meeting last night with the city. How much have they committed?
Well, that commitment hasn't been specified yet, but now the city manager and I had spoken. He was glad to get this as well, because they needed a little picture.
Yeah.
And my message to him last night was, how gracious and generous the county's been to put up $100,000. I think in the spirit of partnership, there ought to be some equality shown by the city.
Absolutely.
So the city manager indicated to me that they were serious about doing that. So I told them I'd be back in January to their meeting, first meeting in January, and we would, or in between, and we'll get a commitment from them as well.
It's a life.
I'll guarantee you I'll get a commitment. Oh, the other thing I want to tell you, just to soften the blow a little bit. I've already raised $20,000 from some of our marquee businesses.
I saw that, yeah.
My goal is to raise 40. And what I wanted to do, I wanted to cover Eddie's fee for his band, because I just thought private money is better applied to that than public money. Now staging, the parks and all that, your money, I think it's appropriate. Having been here, that's the way I relate. But I intend to raise $40,000.
Okay.
So, and I've got 2 meetings this week with the other 2 major potential donors. One of them being our Farmers Bank,
Okay.
and another. So we'll see how that goes, and that will make things a bit easier. And then we can all sit down later on and we start rolling these things out where the money needs to go.
You're including the other cities as well, right? Not just Danville?
Fairville
Reaching out to
Junction.
Fairville and Junction as well, make sure they feel involved.
Right. Yeah. And there's one, I must admit, there's one example of an entity, too, really. We need our African-American community to have something, and we're working with, Michael Hughes had gone through a difficult time.
Yeah.
And we've also got Melinda Withers assisting with that. So in our meeting today, we're going to talk more about that. But KSD, we've got to get the KSD community involved, either in a parade entry, or they've got Jacobs Hall is a museum in itself about the deaf community, and so I want them represented in all of this, because that's part of our history. I mean, you're talking about going back to 1820, 1815. It's that's an important part of our history. 1823, yeah.
Is there anything planned for Constitution Square?
Yeah, I think, Kendall, you want to speak to that a little bit? I know Mimi Becker has talked about having some art.
Okay, good.
But we need to talk about that.
Good.
We need to have some event there.
Did we talk about
something ongoing.
simulcasting the long rifle
Yes,
competition there? We
yeah.
talked about doing that.
Well, that's gonna be at Travelers Rest.
Yeah.
But it was gonna be
it's
simulcast at
simulcasting it or
Constitution Square
something.
if possible.
Yeah.
We haven't really
Tanya?
moved on that, you know, but I will say this, the flintlock, rifle, long rifle, demonstration and competition, which I'm sure you judge heard about it.
Oh,
in terms of
yes,
shooting.
I've heard about it.
But I will, Steve Ellis is really working hard on that, and Tom, I don't know if you've been in contact with him, but that's, we've got a price on that, and he's got a lot of those events out there, in place, so, I'm pleased with that. We've got some good people on this committee.
And what's the location of the DAR's T?
It's gonna be the Arts Center.
Art Center, and what about the film presentation? Is that gonna be at
That's the
PAGE?
Boyle County Performing Arts Center.
Okay.
We, at Junction, we have decided we're gonna take our balloon festival. I just spoke with some people this morning about trying to make it a 250-year event. So we've got the balloon festival, we need to make it bigger and better.
That'll be August, yeah.
And then we're also talking about, and seems like everybody's, haven't spoken with the school exactly, but we wanna take and do a time capsule with the school kids.
Oh, yeah.
And put a time capsule in the ground. That's an old thing, but you know, something old, sometimes old stuff's good too.
That'd be
so.
great, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That balloon thing can be adapted mighty well.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of pretty patriotic colors and lots of things.
Red, white, and blues. Gonna be
That's
the
exactly
thing.
right. That's exactly right. Yes?
Sorry,
Yeah,
Judge,
Master Guy.
Yeah, just, and I'm glad to hear about the African-American side as well, because I was gonna bring that up. So, serving on the Martin Luther King Committee, which we were introduced and met last night. Because one of our charges from that committee is to do diversity-related events and things throughout the year, not just one day. And so I think that committee would be a good source of information. Michael Hughes, of course, is a good resource as well, and Melinda's on that committee also. So I do think that's important to make part of the celebration, because one of the themes that we're focusing on this year for the Martin Luther King Day event is building community, and of course our African American population really in a lot of ways built this country. And so we don't want to forget that.
No.
as
Well,
part of this
they're part of our
process.
history. They're
Exactly.
a distinct part of our history.
Exactly.
Joey, I have a question.
Yes.
Comment. Regarding the Montgomery concert, have you considered the possibility of augmenting the security and parking people with, if we have a local MP unit here in our National Guard, so they have experience in
That's a
military
good
police,
idea.
so you might want to think
Good
about
idea.
including them, and they would save some cost maybe.
I have a pen for that. Make a note. That's good. So there's an MP division here locally.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Any other questions? Did I miss anything, Kendall?
So first event then to look forward to is March 17th.
Yes.
Okay.
And that'll be the shot heard round the world.
Okay.
And there might be a little component to that or two that'll be other entertaining too.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right. Thank you,
All right.
Tony.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. If anybody can come to the meeting today at 2 o'clock, be sure and come on out. Okay. POAGE Engineering, Bryan Johson. Oh. Come in, Bryan. Welcome.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Had a meeting than I expected, but. Stand up here?
Yes, sir. Brian's gonna give us a little update on the Courthouse Clocktower.
I don't know whether, I'm gonna lay this out for you to look at it real quick, just to kind of get an idea of what's involved. Sure. You know, we have a place to lay it out.
Maybe lay it there with some of the magistrates, or?
Lay it out.
I kind of just hold it for you if you want. As you talk.
I was just thinking, let me draw something. I actually forgot to put the repair on there, so,
Oh, yeah.
so I've got these verticals like that. And probably it's gonna be channels. So, it's just, they're the same sheet, so.
What do you want on this side and one on that side? Let him look at it.
So, just update you on my analysis, I guess.
Yeah.
So there are 4 truss frames.
Okay.
And I've analyzed them. We didn't do any testing on the wood, but I believe that's a white oak, best I can determine. And that's a queen post truss, and they're just not really designed to take the kind of loads that we're, taking. It's a 40-foot span. A lot of the queen posts, you have the bottom cord, which winds up taking pretty much all the load, like a great big beam. And the problem is, it's just too much. If I turn it into a little bit of a truss like that, I can repair each of the 4 that are beyond that have nothing to do with the clock tower. So that gets us up into at least repairing that part of the roof framing system. And the rafters and the ceiling joists are acceptable. They're pretty close to the limit that they're okay in that area. The problem with the tower is obviously it's a tremendous amount of load, and I'm even having difficulty estimating what that is. So the frame that's supporting it, which is called line number 2, that's the one that's obviously the greatest damage. And I've kind of spun my wheels a little bit thinking about how we can, the architectural concerns about tearing out the ceiling in that courtroom in order to reinforce that member. Because I know you, in the past, you talked about wanting to keep it looking like wood and an old design. Ideally, I'd like to replace the entire thing with a steel frame, but I get it, we probably can't do that. So I may still be able to sister channels on there, but I haven't got, nothing I've come up with has worked so far.
And you're talking the structure of the clock tower, right?
Well, the supporting frame, which is on column line 2, that supports nearly, I'd say 85% of that load.
Huh.
It's that high. It's a little bit lopsided, which is obviously nice lean too. There is another frame between 1 and 2, but it's not even a queen post. It's just I'm not even sure how to describe it. It's more of a beam system. And of course the front wall there is called line 1.
Oh, 1 and 2.
Yeah, the frame on 2 has been the problem from day 1. And it does add a little bit of stress.
So you're talking this thicker beam across there is not substantial enough.
Right, it is a queen post frame, but yeah, it's nowhere near substantial enough. So a lot of times...
Just to kind of pause you there real quick, what year was the structure built in?
62.
We think it was after the Civil War they rebuilt it.
Actually, it was completed just before the end of the battle because it was vacated by the court and hundreds of wounded people were brought through.
But I thought the clock tower was added a little bit later.
There's 2 different stages.
Yes.
There is a smaller roof without the tower on it.
Yeah, I think that came
And then
later.
they built on top of that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the
That
only
was
reason
after the fire, I think.
Well, I think the courthouse was rebuilt in 1862, but then the tower looks like it was added later. There's actually a roof under it that's got a tin, and then it looks like
somebody
it's-
almost stepped through.
Yeah.
I guess the only reason I asked that question is it clearly has been some pretty good engineering, obviously, because it's held.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How many years is that? I mean,
I might have a little contention with that, but the queen post design is okay in shorter spans and with not as much load.
Right.
But when you get into loads like this, the way that is, that's a, I believe that's a Pratt truss, or it could be a Howe. I forgot my terminology there. But typically you want the webs to come from the top cord down to a panel point.
Your price. 150 years.
150 years, yeah, that's pretty good.
165.
I think a lot of I think that's a testament to the wood itself.
Yeah.
Because again, it's acting as a huge beam. Of course, that's why it's got the splits and checks in it, and it's a little bit of rotation. It's just overloaded. But wood is just an incredible, element to work with, because even when it's overloaded, the tension fibers is so high. It's kind of like, how steel gets strain hardened. It's got a limit on it, but if you go beyond that limit, it actually gets a little bit stronger right before it fails.
Yeah.
So Brian, what part of this can you do, and what part are you recommending that we get an architect for?
Okay, that's my concern, because I have spun my wheels a little bit without, I usually have an architect that leads as a prime, and then we go back and forth and discuss things, because in the effort to repair this, you're going to tear up a lot of stuff that's got to be replaced. And again, you've got to make decisions on, well, if we're going to cut out literally 20 feet of ceiling, we may just have to renovate the whole courtroom. And then when we talk about the controlling the water, again, that's something that I really don't, it affects me, but it's not something I know how to address effectively.
Okay.
So I tried to send all the information that we had to Steve White at White Pollard as an architect. But Julie you'd said that there was another architect that was possibly available.
Actually, he's a structural.
Okay.
Yeah, I confirmed
I hope we
that
don't need him.
yesterday. No. Brian, did you say that you wanted to use steel in the clock tower, but you didn't think you could?
Okay, only for the frame itself. So a
Okay.
lot of times what we do is that bottom cord is like an 8 by 12, so it's a huge piece of lumber. The ceiling joists come in and they were toe-nailed into the bottom. And a lot of times we put channels on either side and bolt through, and so you're basically taking a lot of the load with the steel.
Okay.
So I'll make the channel so big that you almost won't need the wood.
Okay.
You still do,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
just saying you almost won't. I'm going to bring it so high. The problem is you have to take out each one of those floor or ceiling joists, and you got to cut them, keep them shored up, put the channels in there, and then you've got to have a steel tab or something to bolt those back in. The system they came up with, they knew they had problems where it was pulling away, and they took 1-bys and they put horizontal, and then they had 2 legs dropping down, and they nailed in. But it's like 1 or 2 nails. It's not even close to sufficient.
So what you're saying is that the courtroom, while all this is going on, is most likely going to be unusable?
I think so now.
Okay,
At
we
first
needed
I
to
thought-
know that today.
At first I thought we could, but
Yeah.
again, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm kind of spinning my wheels, because I'm going back and forth. And I think if I had an architect with me to kind of talk things over with, we'd go a lot faster.
I was thinking, Judge, I'm glad you're here. I found the documents from the previous renovation of the clock tower. Tate did it out of Lexington.
Was that in 2001, what you sent me?
Yes, it was, right after the Y2K. And I'm wondering if they're still in practice, whether they would be the best architect to bring in, because they've already worked on it.
They would be. But
Did they do that because something was noticed
No, I
earlier?
think you did exterior.
This was more exterior.
Copper, new copper, it was.
So it was.
It wasn't structural.
Okay.
that I
There wasn't
saw.
any structural work that I recall.
Yeah, I don't think there was. I
It was
looked
very
through it.
minimal. Yeah.
Because it didn't sound like structural at all from what you described.
So after we talked yesterday, I thought about finding that document, and it was Tate. And so I'm thinking, if they're
Right.
still in business,
They are.
maybe we could get them.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why that I didn't reach out to them, because I think Chris is the one that recommended the white.
Okay,
And
yeah,
so I
yeah,
went with
sure,
him. He's my boss, but,
sure.
Because he tried to reach Garland, and Garland wasn't
Yeah,
available. His
he
health was
said
a little bit
that. Yeah.
off. And
Well, and I think what
Jason-
happened, just for some background, is we were working with the architect for AOC.
Mm-hmm.
They're now going to probably move out while all this is done, so that takes their architect out of the mix.
Right.
And so now we're back to, we need to get an architect.
Right, I had planned on working with Jimmy Piper
Right,
on it to
right,
develop this
yeah.
drawing.
Right. So-
And so that's kind of put me back a little bit.
Do you think we can stay here while the court, not upstairs,
Just-
us,
yeah, right,
on the
just-
first floor?
Yes.
Okay.
I think just the upstairs is gonna need some work. Now, what Ben, when he came down and we talked about the scaffolding and everything,
Yeah.
one of the biggest concerns was he was worried about the process of jacking the main timbers up. I think there's
These.
there's eight of those large timbers
Oh,
that form the
around the
tower.
octagon? Yeah.
Yeah, form the octagon.
Yeah, that's-
So, we were hoping to reinforce the beams and then jack from the framing that's up high. Because what's not shown here is, I'll kind of point, I don't know if you can see it. So column line 2 goes across here.
Yeah.
There are some massive beams that come perpendicular.
Okay.
That make the square of the original roof enclosure.
Okay.
And they're probably like 24 by 24 beams. And those are, I think they're either on top or hung from that truss on T2. And, it's a very large steel rod.
Okay.
But if we can get that supported where it can take the load, get it reinforced enough, we could jack those up a little bit on that existing framing instead of coming all the way down to the first floor and even the foundation. Like, if we have to put posts on the inside to temporarily shore or jack, you'd have to cut holes in the floor and go all the way down to a footing at the bottom, because your floor frame is not gonna handle that kind of load.
How you gonna support the steel?
So right now, the truss is in position, and we were, again, not gonna jack it up very much, if at all. And then we're gonna put steel on there and bolt it together. And then any further deflection, the steel's gonna wind up taking almost the total load, basically.
Okay.
The wood's not
How you gonna
useless.
support the steel though, the I-beams? Are they gonna?
It's gonna be bolted in. So you've already got the wood
Okay,
truss that's there.
okay.
You're gonna basically sister onto either side. Again, that's
Okay.
what I'm hoping to accomplish. The problem is, again, I'm not far enough along to establish like I need to get a big enough beam to do that.
So we need to bid for an architect, get an architect on board that you can get together with,
Right.
and then finalize the plans.
But I had another idea.
We don't need to bid necessarily, the
Okay.
professional service.
Okay,
So
alright.
if we wanted to go contact Tate,
Okay.
who has did it before, we could do that because they're a professional
So
service.
they
Okay,
would
good
just
deal.
propose it to you and give
If you want to do that, it's up to you.
Yeah,
You can move mighty quick.
yeah.
Yeah, I had another idea though, to move a little quicker. I'm not sure. If you did more of a design build type process, the architect, whoever is brought on board, and me as a structural engineer would work for, say, CSR Collective, which has been. In other words, you've got the contractor driving the whole process, because he is gonna be doing the work. I don't know, to be honest with you, that's better,
Yeah.
because typically I like to be an architect driven, because they can
I
kind of
think
police the
that's-
contractor.
This is a preservation project, so we probably need to get a preservation.
Yeah,
architect.
I absolutely think you need that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if you work for the contractor, like, on my end in particular, they expose things to me and I can change the drawings and we kind of design on the fly. I still have to have the main design done, but, you know, you come back and you have some adjustability. The problem is you have to police it. In other words, the contractor may say, well, this is, you know, $300,000 for this and whatever.
Yeah.
With the architect and engineer kind of scrutinizing it, you know, we may get better results.
Isn't the bell really, really heavy?
Well, I'm
Yes.
wondering with the
Are we
steel.
getting it out right
Is the
away?
bell
And
all
that's,
stay
and
or
that's
go?
my point, is if you go ahead and let it be contractor driven, you can go ahead and start this process and tear it out, even though we haven't got the
Yeah.
design done.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of, you know, it's,
I see what you're saying.
So the bell would come out?
yeah, I think they're gonna take out one of the panels of the
Well,
windows.
but I have a question.
Say
If,
that.
if you're gonna reinforce it with steel, then does the bell need to come out?
I think we can make it work. Well, that's what I said, if I can get it to work, I think we can.
It would be
So,
preferable to keep it, but
it is, okay.
Well, I mean,
I thought the opposite, I thought you were preferring to take it out.
well,
but you weren't.
we were, but then
safety.
you brought up
For
steel,
safety.
so that kind of
Oh, yeah,
changes, you
yeah.
know.
Once we
If you're gonna
reinforce it, it's gonna
reinforce
take the
with
load.
steel, it's gonna make it stronger.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe it would withhold the weight of the bell,
Right.
but
That's
we
my
may
point, is-
still need to take it out. I
Yeah,
don't-
that's my point. Even if we had new woods, stronger woods, I don't think you could get that old look. You know what I'm saying? And the idea of replacing it entirely, you'd have to take off the roof, a whole slice, you'd have to take off the tower. It's much better to try to sister against what we have currently and reinforce that properly.
would you know, or would it be the architect or combination, does the bell have to come out during the reconstruction?
I don't think they would have to. I mean, they might want to do work in there, but then again, I think it could stay. I mean, I guess that depends. If we're gonna tear that floor up and re-floor it, then you probably wanna pull it out temporarily.
It's not that big of a bell, to be honest. It's
Right, it's heavy.
It's just heavy.
It's heavy, it's just not that big.
No,
It's
it's,
got-
and as far
I think
as,
the problem is the window panels are a little bit narrow.
Yes,
I don't think
yes.
the bell
Yeah,
can come out.
yeah.
yes.
I mean, if you're gonna go to this expense of putting in the steel, it seems like it would make more sense to try to just build it to keep the
To
bell.
leave it,
there.
that's what I was thinking, yeah.
We can do
As
that.
long as it's safe, that's the main
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Is it safe to stay
Right.
there now?
Right.
That's it.
So, you know, again, Ben brought up the idea of the scaffolding, because all along we talked about taking the tower off,
Right,
rebuilding it, putting it
right.
back on. And he would prefer to build it in place. And what we can do is like those octagon columns, let's say that it's leaning like this, and we try to, you can jack these up and maybe put some shims underneath of it and level it out a little bit. But most of it might be more of a decorative leveling. In other words, you're stuck with your structure, we stabilize it, then you come in there and let's say it's got a little slope to it, you just cut out these walls and rebuild it so it looks level now.
Judge Wilder.
I'm sure you all are in consultation with the Heritage Council too? Okay.
Yes, yes.
And secondly, I just have one personal thing. There's a lot of old graffiti
Yes.
up
Yeah.
there. And if there's something torn out, I think for posterity's sake, save some of that if you
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
Don't throw it away. There might be somebody we can put a museum in here.
Oh,
like
yeah,
this.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Take pieces of lumber and make a plaque out of it or something.
yeah, that's all I'm doing.
Well, so, I like the idea of the bell staying up there.
Yeah.
But I also like the idea of people being able to see the bell.
See the bell, yeah.
And so, I mean, the bell is how old?
Well, when was it put?
1862.
Yeah, is that when it was
No,
put in, or was it
no,
put in?
it's like 1890, I think is the
18
date on it.
something.
I can't
Yeah,
remember.
right. It's old.
Before 1900.
So it's
old.
It's old. Two thoughts here. A, it would be kind of cool to actually have it out and like do something with it
On display.
At display here
Mhm.
in the courthouse square, or if you could somehow design a window up there when we're designing this, so that you could actually see it in its natural state. I don't know. It just. I was talking with someone else. It's a shame that only a few people know that the bell's there
Yeah.
and realize it's there. I mean, you hear it, but you don't really realize it, and
Okay, here.
you know.
We wouldn't get.
I don't
Can't
know.
even hear it now.
Right. Well, yeah. I
We
mean,
would not
you know,
get
it's just.
tax credits if we did something like that. So that's something to consider.
Okay.
is The tax credits.
Okay.
Could offset the cost. It's like, I don't know.
It's I want to display it
80 cents on the
somehow.
dollar.
What about in the front entrance there? Is there room? You know, you got that front foyer?
No, I want people to be able to come by and see. I mean, so I grew up right outside of Philly, and so I'm used to seeing the Liberty Bell.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I mean, this is quite. It isn't the Liberty Bell, but it's it's the Boyle County Bell.
It's our Liberty Bell.
So yeah, so I mean, it'd be great to like let people see it.
So Julie, what do you mean by you won't be able to, if we take it out of the building?
No, if you try to modify the clock tower to make it visible, you
Oh,
would not get.
put windows
tax
in
credits.
it.
It's not
Glass
historic.
in it.
Right, right. You
But-
can't modify it.
But if we take the bell out,
That's-
we'd
yeah.
be
Yes,
okay then?
yeah,
Okay.
He did say that, yeah.
How much are we talking in tax credits?
It depends on the overall cost. Be 400,000 or 500,000 if we get our asking in time. It's a lot of money.
Significant,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, it could be.
definitely a driver.
Depends on who else applies that year. We really can't say until we get the cost in, but usually it's 20% of the project, somewhere around there.
That's huge, yeah.
Okay, so going forward, we need to get an architect
Yeah.
and then get back with you, right?
And by the way, that's the other reason you need an architect, because as a structural, I wouldn't know anything about stuff like that.
Okay.
They're very good about coming up with a construction budget, and even if it misses, which they always do a little bit, they still have a lot more knowledge about ins and outs, things they can do. And I don't have those management skills, I just do design.
Okay.
So,
I mean,
Okay.
the sooner we do it, the better.
Yes, yes.
We're ready,
So-
way past ready.
yeah, even though I've sent the stuff to
Okay.
White, I think that
Yeah.
Cato Jacobs would be a better choice.
Mhm.
And again, I'm not sure why. I think because they have had some change in the people who work there.
Mhm.
I forgot who owns it now, but I
Okay.
think Susan's retired.
Well, we'll get on that ASAP and get back with you and let you know, and then we can proceed forward.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna keep on designing.
Yeah.
And again, just on the personal note there, Thanksgiving and Christmas is my holidays, so
Mhm.
I'm only in the office 2 weeks in between. I go
Okay.
to North Carolina for
Yeah.
almost a month.
Yeah. I'd say be first of the
With the
year
family,
before
so-
we're ready to.
Right. So I was supposed to come down before I left on the Thanksgiving vacation, but again, I was trying to get everything done.
Mhm.
I just wasn't able to. That's why I'm having difficulty figuring out the weight of everything above and how that's
Mhm.
framed in right there at the front, which is
Mhm.
obviously the most critical.
Mhm.
But I had to wrap my mind around everything we're gonna have to do in that roof system, so.
Okay.
Well, we sort of changed the scope when we
Yeah.
said we want to stay here. And
I
we
know,
understand
Yeah.
that.
that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
everything's is in flux, and I really need a partner to
Yeah.
kind of talk
Yeah.
things over with, like
Yeah.
a design team.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to do all this by myself as just an engineer.
I understand.
I just do this design, so.
Any other questions, comments?
Do we know if it's an iron or a bronze bell?
I believe it's iron. I got a gentleman called me from the company in New York that does the bell, sent me a book about all the bells they do, and it looks like the foundry just did iron.
That was New York? I thought it was
Yeah,
Cincinnati.
no,
Okay.
no,
My
it's
bad,
not.
I misread.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's the biggest.
Yeah.
Right,
It
right.
was done in,
We've done so many from there.
Erie.
and
Yeah.
Erie, okay.
Yeah.
I know I took pictures of it, I just forgot.
All right, well, thank you, Brian.
All
We
right.
appreciate it. And you
If
want us to keep these?
those. Yeah,
Okay.
you might as well. I've
All
got
right.
plenty of copies.
Okay.
Brian, thank you.
Yeah, thank
Great
you very much.
vacation, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Safe travels. Thank you. All right, next up, we have Taylor Golden with ONEbox. Thank you for being patient.
Patience is a virtue. Howdy, y'all. So, state champs.
Yeah,
parades,
yeah.
passports, the
You
net
got a full
device,
education.
swag.
Yeah,
we
I
got a lot of good things.
we got a lot going on.
Yeah. So it's a real privilege to be here. My name's Taylor Golden. I'm the Chief Research and Development Officer with Rapid Risk Reduction. Magistrate Colin, I really appreciate you inviting me out. Katina, I really appreciate you coordinating the invitation. So I am a very proud product of the recovery community and social safety net here in Appalachia. So, you know, I grew up as a child of the opioid epidemic. Grew up on both sides of the river, so I came here this morning from Portsmouth, Ohio, just on the other side of the river, so about a 3-hour drive. And was very stoked to be here in particular because Boyle County was the first recovery-ready community in the Great Commonwealth, so back in 2023. So this is actually my first time being here physically with y'all, but I've read about y'all. So, and to be in a space where y'all are talking about forward-thinking things on the cutting edge, like the net device, you know, bringing up, you know, modalities like psychedelic assisted therapy. That's really exciting for me, you know. So not a lot of counties are, you know, are so forward thinking and so open-minded when it comes to building and bolstering a strong recovery ecosystem. So real privilege to be here for those reasons as well. Today I'm here to present on ONEbox. So this is a system from Rapid Risk Reduction. Our mission and vision is to build and bolster connective and responsive risk reduction systems, primarily supporting communities. Meeting them where they are to bring the number of fatal overdoses down to 0 within their communities. So usually we have slides and all that good stuff. I didn't want to bore you with it. So what I wanted to do was go ahead and just present the ONEbox and then leave plenty of time for y'all to ask questions and all of that good stuff. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Great. So this is a ONEbox. Real quick, does everybody know what naloxone is? It's totally okay if not. Groovy. Okay, excellent. So this is a naloxone emergency kit. So purple, you know, for the color of overdose prevention and awareness. You open this puppy up. It has a box of personal protective equipment, so masks, gloves, CPR, everything you would need to respond to an overdose in real time by rescue breathing, all that good stuff. It's made to fit any brand of intranasal naloxone. So we are totally brand ambivalent. We don't care what brand you're carrying, just as long as you're carrying naloxone. So what sets the ONEbox apart is that it really is kind of an AED for overdose. So when you pull the tab here, it'll give a live 60-second.
First off, let's take
Hey, here's how you use naloxone in an emergency situation. This is actually Jan Rader. She is the Huntington Fire Chief. You know, she's a hero of mine and somebody who's probably reversed more overdoses than just about anybody in Appalachia. So it'll play a 60-second emergency video. Hey, here's how you use it in an emergency.
Let's take a deep breath.
Has a 5 to 6 minute training mode, so this is for organizations to train at scale. Now, I myself have had the privilege to train a few thousand people, few thousand people over the course of my life in how to administer naloxone in an overdose situation. And what that looked like for me in Southern Ohio was running around all the counties myself like a headless chicken before supper time, trying to figure out, okay, coordinating schedules here, there, everywhere. What this device allows is for us to train at scale. So anytime we have a new team member come to our program, new patient, community member, et cetera, who's interested in learning about overdose prevention and response, we hand them the box, have them watch the 5-minute training 2 times over, and then just have a coffee and conversation about it for the more nuanced points. It's also a bilingual tool. So, for the standard training and the emergency training, it's also Spanish. It's triple redundant as well, so full written instructions on overdose prevention and response, how to administer naloxone, and a QR code as well for triple redundancy. So it has a 7-year duty cycle for the battery life, so when you account for the actual cost of the naloxone plus the box itself, basically it allows any public space in your community, any private space, to have a staff that's fully armed and competent to administer naloxone in real time for about $22 a year. So this is the ONEbox. I would love to, I'm happy to pass it around if y'all would like to,
pass it around.
With it. And then, I'd love to respond to kind of any questions that y'all may have in around it.
I'm going to embarrass myself. with a question,
Oh,
because
no,
you
there's
said
no
you do a 2 times over training program, but where is this box when one of us runs across somebody who needs what we put inside there, and they don't have time to save this person with 12 minutes of learning?
Oh, so my apologies. So the first training that when it opens up immediately, it's the 60-second emergency response training. So the 5 to 6
So that
minute,
would be enough in an emergency?
Absolutely, yes.
Like I say, I'm embarrassed to have to ask that, but.
Not an embarrassing question at all.
So when I saw this, I started thinking about our first responders. Mainly, they often, you'll see stories about first responders, whether it's police, EMS, fire, whatever. They will get to a scene and they could be exposed to fentanyl or various things, and they start reacting. And so in my mind, I started thinking like this would be a great thing to have in the police vehicles, in the EMS trucks, in the fire trucks, wherever we can put them. I mean, that was kind of where I was thinking that, if something happened to an officer or one of our EMS or paramedics, that somebody could like see this box and know to go in there and get it, and that way they're protected. And then I started thinking about even out at the public works, not public works, but at the government service center, after I saw the piles and piles of trash that were coming in from, that the recycling people are going through, you don't know what's there that they could be exposed to as well. And so that's kind of where I was thinking when I saw this, and just it kind of hit me that we should really try to have these in as many public spaces as we can throughout the community, and then it kind of allows the public to also, become aware with them and ask questions, look them up, and have them wherever we can.
And I appreciate the point on law enforcement, especially one of the, this is a direct quote from one of our advocates who's deployed ONEbox in Wilson County, North Carolina, and seen great results, is that they've transformed their community from a community dependent on first responders to a community of first responders. So a specific example is the Nashville Police Department. ONEbox is an everyday carry, and they actually go to their local businesses, honky-tonks, venues, etc., and deploy ONEboxes there. So it's a kind of give and take program.
Yeah, so like our jails too, like when they're doing intake, as they're checking the inmates as they're coming in. Another great place for it and stuff like that. So, go ahead.
Yeah, no, those are all great ideas, and I appreciate Magistrate Cullen bringing this to all of our attention and you being here. I was going to ask, where are you seeing it in other communities? So, because it does seem like you want them to be in, with our first responders and those people, but you want them, like AEDs, to be in public venues where people can
Restaurants,
access them.
Hotels,
right next to first aid kits.
Quick stop.
Quick stop.
So, do you have some examples of places where they're being placed?
Yes, so y'all are already doing a great job in envisioning here. So one thing I say to any community we work with is that y'all are going to know the needs of your community a heck of a lot better than anybody outside of it like myself. So really the ONEbox is meant to not replicate or replace anything you already have going on, meant to kind of amplify and bolster your current recovery and overdose response ecosystem. So we partner with public health agencies is a large partner with us. K through 12 and campus education, so we're very proud to every K through 12 school in West Virginia is equipped with ONEbox. All of the collegiate campuses, so we also work with University of Clemson, Georgia, Stanford. There's a kind of long laundry list. I'll make sure everybody has the slides as well, so email to you so you can go through that in your own time. It has all of our kind of citations, our data sources. Also has testimonials from all of our partners across the country. So it's very much multi-industry. Also small businesses, so trying to destigmatize overdose so that when people see a naloxone emergency kit, they have the same association as a fire extinguisher or an AED, where it becomes a less moralized issue. It becomes, oh, this is just a standard public health response. It's keeping the community safe, keeping one another safe. So there's all kinds of different ways that we've had this deployed across the country, and with every partner I learned something new and a new kind of strategy for deployment. So we could have a whole 2-hour conversation about
Yeah,
that.
I mean, we were all, I mean, we've all been given boxes of it to have in our car and have it here or where, but then we're like, okay, well, is it sitting in the heat too long or this or that? And those are always, and they're expired or whatever, so, you know, if you can kind of have it next to a fire extinguisher or you know, a first aid kit or whatever at a store, I mean, that, or wherever, I mean, that's kind of, you know, it's in a stable environment, it's, you know, and several people know that it's there.
Yeah, and it's so turning passive naloxone storage into an active response system is really our goal with the device. There is no other like it that has the actual training component technology.
Right.
It's also, some partners have done really, you know, I mean, really brilliant work with turning it into an outcomes-based touch point too, so that they are tracking when naloxone is utilized out in the community to better kind of build and bolster the data being collected around real-time overdose response. You know, because typically overdose response, when getting all of the stakeholders around the table, EMS, coroner's office, et cetera, it's a lagging indicator, so we're typically a year or two behind with any kind of overdose data. So ONEbox allows for a more kind of real-time touch point in real time with the folk on the front lines doing the work day in, day out.
2 follow-ups.
Please.
Actually, the second one won't be at all a follow-up, but the first one, I'm the guy at the restaurant who grabs the box because somebody's down. And I'm so panicked that I need that tape one more time before it goes to the 5 minutes. Can you hit the 1 minute second time in a row?
So thankfully, when you pull the tab, it will just continuously play the 60-second video. The 5-minute training is a separate button. So
Good.
yeah.
That's critical, because somebody's going to grab the box and they're going to panic. They won't feel trained enough and have to hit it again. The second one is, when I was with Appalachian Regional Healthcare, one of our folks was at a convention in New Orleans, and this wonderful featured white chili was on the menu. She witnessed a man go down and die because the secret ingredient was peanuts. Will Narcan and other drugs save that life?
So unfortunately not. So
No.
naloxone is specifically for folk who are experiencing opioid-specific overdose situations. So, yeah.
But that would require an
EpiPen.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I should be carrying mine.
That would be neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, nasal. It would be.
Yeah. So how do we get it, and what's the cost to the county?
Yeah, so the cost per unit for the ONEbox specifically, this is the ONEbox Classic, so it's the full emergency kit, is $150 per unit. It's meant to be the most competitive price point on the market, so there are other, you know, naloxone cabinets, naloxone storage, products. This is like the only system of its kind. So these are $150 per unit. We also have something called a ONEbox co-location, so it is really just the screen technology here. And what that's meant to do is complement
First off,
existing,
let's take a deep
naloxone storage. So let's say you have a naloxone vending machine out in the community. This can complement that and turn that into a real-time training touch point. Let's say you have blessing boxes. You're able to turn those into real-time overdose touch points. A hero of mine, Abby Spears, she's an organizer in Portsmouth, Ohio. She had actually turned all of our old phone booths into naloxone cabinets. And for this past Save a Life Day, we got those on co-locations.
immediately this afternoon. I'm going to be back onto that, but if you hear anything about spectrum difficulties, let me know, because I established a good relationship with a couple of their folks at the lower level, and they were very helpful last week, but we got tweaked on it, and we need to get back and look at it again. And other than that, let's all try to get out tonight and accept the honor of being invited by the firefighters to their Christmas dinner, but certainly honor them for all that they provide for us. Judge, very brief today.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis. Master Bodner.
I wanted to congratulate J.J. Harris and his group at the Danville County Development Corporation. They received the International Economic Development Council Accredited Economic Development Organization Award.
Wow. Can you say that 3 times fast?
Say that again. And that's the first in Kentucky. I mean, that's amazing to me. That's an international award. So I wanted, and they've been so helpful to us in my district. So I wanted to make sure he got some accolades for that. The Boyle County Public Library will have their 3rd Monday. They have it every month at Junction City Hall. We have they're having the Holiday Diamond Painting event, and each month we have more and more people there. It's just a really great event. Starts at 6, ends at 7:30, and they do some kind of activity, and it's just been a really great thing for our community. The first Monday of the month we have the History Harvest. We're still lagging on that. I really need to get back in on that and try to pick that back up. I want to thank, bless you. Thanks Roger and his crew for the paving he's done in my district. We've got Colton's Road, Pumpkin Run, and the AME Church Road, and some others.
All the way down 300.
All the way down there. So we really appreciate that, and for the salt that they always do every year. Junction City has their parade this Saturday, 6 p.m. Had fun at Danville and Perryville.
Dress warm.
Dress warm. It's going to be another cold one, but it's so fast and it's so fun, and it's just so good to see all the community out. I love it.
Yep.
Pine Knob Trail meeting is December the 15th. Right now, tentatively, we know the weather's a little bit bad, so we may have to change that up. Yeah. So, but we're still in there on that.
Yeah.
Junction City meeting. We had a Junction City Matters meeting December 1st. We did a lot of planning about the Balloon Festival and all the things I've already talked about, time capsule and all that, and making the Balloon Festival bigger and better. The Junction City Council meets Thursday night at 6 p.m. December 12th is the Trails Committee meeting. And my big news, Junction City now owns 10 plus acres behind Junction City School.
Whoa.
And they want to send congratulations or thank yous to the fiscal court for the $50,000. They used that money to help purchase
That's
that
great.
land. We're now taking the school system out of control of that park because it's always been the school system. That's what you always said. So now 10 acres directly, but we really wanted, as a group, we wanted the children use that park every day. A lot of people are around here saying they don't ever use it. That is completely false. They use it every day the weather allows them. And the teachers have all told me they would love we looked at all this land away from there. But my goal was to continue to I know they've got a little tiny thing, but to continue and let them have access for bigger and better. And we want a bigger, now we can plan for a bigger, better park.
Good.
And they wanted me to tell you thank you, and we're really excited. It's been a 3-year effort for me, and I'm just.
So the city of Junction owns it, or Junction City Matters?
Junction City, the city.
City owns it. Okay.
The
Okay.
city
Good
owns
deal.
it. So,
Good deal.
So it's really, Mayor Douglas has been all in, and he's really been all in about the kids, they use it more than anybody. We want our community to use it, of course, but the kids to continue to get that access. So he's really been on that. And the last thing I wanted to mention was, I had somebody in the community mention the 5 acres and all our discussion about that and how strongly I felt about letting the farmers be able to have a voice in that whole issue. But he also mentioned, it's time for us to look up and start thinking about our infrastructure with everybody in the room. And so we do need to start looking at that infrastructure and what everything can take and get the stakeholders involved. So we've got to look at that and start looking at our budget, as in how much are we gonna set aside each year to, if something fails, what are we gonna do about that? So next budget year, we need to really look at that really hard. If we had something big that we needed to address, what do we wanna set aside and look at that?
And Judge, on that issue of planning and zoning, I'm certain that we agreed with Ms. Gray that we'd all be on the distribution list with email coming to us on the meetings, but I'm going tomorrow and did not get a notification, so I hope that she'll soon.
I haven't received anything, but I was gonna follow up with her if I
Yes,
didn't
yeah.
get anything.
I would
this
have
week.
missed that meeting if somebody hadn't
I
alerted
have
me.
an email that said PZC. It says go in here, and I wondered,
I
is
don't
that
know what in
planning
the
and
world
zoning?
that is.
I don't know, I was gonna ask her before I
It's
got
at a
into it.
Danville.org website, so it's a real website. So
Yeah.
that might be what it is.
I think that's what it is, but I'm gonna
I
call
was
her.
afraid to open
Yeah.
it, and B, I didn't know how.
Well, I wanted to call her
Something
first
direct.
and get that.
We need something just very direct. because
PZC agenda
Yeah.
group.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's it.
Okay, well then that's.
But
Well,
I'm gonna
but
check
we
with her.
need it where it's
Verify.
very clear, I have no idea how to open that thing, and I was reluctant to.
Okay.
That's all I've got.
I can talk to her about that and see, but yeah, if that's
I'm
how
really
they,
excited.
if that's how they send it out, then I'm not sure,
I'll call
I can
and
talk
ask
to her.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, I'll call her and ask her if that's from her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can spread it around.
okay.
I just wanted to say that land is a Christmas present to our little community.
Yeah, that's great. That
What's
is
the,
great.
What's the
Big things can happen.
roads like?
But he's gonna have to put in a road, it's gonna be a long-term thing, but at least we've got a starting point. You gotta start somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
But he's got a plan, so
Good.
So maybe we can work with Roger to see what
we could do with
we
him.
can advise or help
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
And then apply for some grants for
Absolutely.
equipment. Yep.
Absolutely.
Playground equipment, yeah.
We can do it.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah,
That'd be
it's-
great.
It's
I'm happy to hear that.
I am too.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that.
It's been a long struggle.
Yeah, good deal.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Master Bowden.
John said he did a good job.
At times, he says that.
Magistrate Harmon.
That's good news about the park.
Yep.
Now we don't have to worry about a contract.
Exactly. That's it.
Yeah.
In other words, they can pull it anytime.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
They can pull anytime they want to add to the school.
Mhm.
Y'all gotta go.
Roll on.
Yep.
That's,
Yep.
but that's actually the beauty for Junction too,
Yeah,
is that school is growing,
Mm-hmm.
the school is
they're
performing.
running
at
400
ex-
some students.
Yeah, but their performance is something that you really want to acknowledge too.
Yeah.
And to be able to give them some of that, I guess, give them that park back whenever, and them to be able to expand that school and really
New and improved park.
Yeah.
New and improved.
new improved park, but a new and improved school.
Absolutely.
The two things will just complement each other.
Yep. Very good. Master Harmon.
Well, last Sunday morning, got up,
Bless it.
headed to church, and looking forward to the day. It's gonna be good. And got there about 10 o'clock. That's late for me. I never get to church for Sunday school at 10 o'clock. I always get there quarter till, at least 10 till, no later. And the wife was in a rush, had to make her pit stop. And I said, go on, I'll get there. And I walked up through there, and I got up there and saw Tommy McGurr. See him every morning, first thing. He's a greeter. Tommy, how you doing? And all that, standing there talking. And all of a sudden, the world turned upside down. I ended up on the concrete floor that's tiled and had that eye, I think. No, it's this eye.
Oh, I see.
Been hit so many times,
Yeah.
you know, you don't remember. And had hit my shoulder real bad. It hyperextended, my head landed on it, which that was a boner right there. I mean,
that he is gonna win. Daddy always said it's hard. And ended up going to election. Patsy took me over there. We checked in. They did the x-ray and I had 2 breaks in the shoulder. And it doesn't require surgery. They put this brace on me, and this is what I wear till I go back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And they'll look at it, make sure it's fusing and going together and all that. It's still sore. Didn't sleep for 4 days, nights. No naps, nothing.
Oh, no.
I mean, it just pain. And I took an extra strength Tylenol, and that was it.
Yeah.
1. Because my body does not take pain pills. I mean, it's like drinking a gallon of White Lightning, Tom, you know, how you used to be. You know? But anyway, I'm on the recovery mode, and it's so much fun to get older. Y'all just wait, you're gonna get there, you live long enough.
Now you're scaring me.
But gonna make it, I'm still here.
Thank goodness.
I
Thank
got a
goodness.
file. I ain't filed yet.
Well, get in there.
All right.
I'm going.
I'll wheel you
You
over
got
there
to
now if you
January the
want.
9th. Oh.
But I am going to be running.
Well,
That's
we are happy to hear that, and we are sad to hear that you've broken some bones, but
I've seen 20 years of physical court, worked with 2 at a time when we had Mercer County, and this by far is one of the best.
Well, in the way that you just threw Patsy under the bus, I hate to see you tomorrow.
I
Yeah.
know, right?
might have that other eye stitch.
You are one brave man.
You better hope this tape doesn't make it very far.
Let's, if we could, let's speed this
Keep going.
Let's speed this along, because she put me on Barry duty if he has to use the bathroom. So, let's try to get out of here quick.
Talking about Patsy's pit stop.
You know what I said? No problem.
Well, we're glad you weren't hurt any worse, Master Harmon.
Thank you.
We all know Patty.
Glad you're here
Patsy ain't
today.
got a mean bone in her body.
She's a sweetie.
Oh, goodness. Thank you. That's all you have?
I'm good.
Okay. Thank
Glad
you.
you're
I'm
good.
glad he's here.
Yeah, me too. Master Cullen.
EMS committee met this morning, was Jamie, myself, and several people from our EMS group, Tim, Mike, Mo, Crisis Response Unit, and we just appreciate them. You know, they're fully invested in making sure that we have all the information and everything that's going on. They're great advocates for their people too. So, Mark Smith led off the meeting with crisis team update, had a lot of good useful information. Terry on community outreach. Mo gave us an excellent agenda-filled sheet with all the education stuff that's going on. They're doing some joint training with Danville Fire right now, which is great. Tim gave us an update on EMS operations, truck status, and personnel. Mike told us that they will be advertising. They've got the 2 trucks in that we just got. They're over at Fred Kane right now, and they're going to get striped soon. Should just probably take a few weeks, hopefully. But they'll be coming in to bid for another truck for 2027 delivery date. So runs this month, November I should say, we're down slightly. They're 585.
Not by much.
No, you know, and last month was like 623, but you know, about a year ago, 585 was the high.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're still running all cylinders even when they have a slower month to say. So, but that's the, that was the EMS committee, and I'll submit that as a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Cullen, second by Gay. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Is that all you have?
That's all I got.
Okay.
Brave the weather and this weekend. There's a lot going on Saturday, but I plan on being over at Junction City.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure all of our cities feel the love.
That's right.
So,
Jason had his family Saturday night
was awesome.
on the Danville float and throwing out candy. So.
Jamie was showing Simon how to throw underhand.
Yes, yes, that's right.
And I had my teeny tiny little Tootsie Rolls. I thought I was buying the bigger. They were this little. I
Teeny
thought
tiny?
they were the tiniest. So I got a little extra to put in there. That looked really bad. I'm like, oh.
Well, it was a fun time.
Just
So.
let us know where to meet.
So Saturday night, we meet at the park. Lineup starts at 5, parade starts at 6. So you come anytime before 6 o'clock and you'll be good to go.
Perfect.
All right, that's your game.
Yes, so I've got several to report on. Had that committee meeting this morning. Solid Waste Committee met on the 12/2, so the 2nd of this month. And I want to thank Magistrate Harmon. He called me on Sunday evening concerned about missing the meeting from the ER.
Oh.
And I was like, what in the world are you doing? So I appreciate him still being concerned about his fiscal court magistrate duties even from the ER. But so he did attend the meeting over the phone. And so we met, myself, Angie, Magistrate Harmon on the phone. We had just had some follow-up discussion from the community recycling forum that was held at RECC. And one of the things we talked about is the need to meet with the city to continue to discuss how we best move forward with the curbside recycling and how we work to get clean materials from that process through our city mainly in this case. You know, everybody else needs to continue to bring them to the recycling center as everybody can at this point in time, because there is still concern about the fact that people are not putting clean materials into the recycling can. So that's still a work in progress that's ongoing. And so Magistrate Harmon and myself and Angie are going to probably work to set up a time to get together with the city, and the judge hopefully can join us for that as well to meet on how we work on that going forward. Then we talked about the air burner, and we're still waiting on the permit from the state.
Yes.
And then in that process that we would also set up a time, once we get the permit, we'll set up a time for the company to come back and demonstrate the equipment for the fiscal court and see, learn on, how that is supposed to do what it's supposed to do cleanly. So that still is a work in progress as well. Angie gave us an update on the Fred Kane building and just in her area of the building and the fact, there's still a lot of work to be done there, but that it's moving along, and she's obviously real excited about the opportunities that provides. And I continue to ask and remind her about I would like to see us make sure to include a place for construction waste to be gathered and but for a fee it would have to be weighed and gathered and be able to be disposed of that way. I think it would be a benefit to our especially smaller construction people in this community that currently have to spend a lot of time and energy to dispose of their waste, and it could help keep them on the job more efficiently doing their thing. So that still is being something that's been looked at. And then she mentioned that at our December 22nd meeting, a young man, John Paul Oliver from DCA, who's a Boy Scout working on an Eagle Scout project that's been working with her, will be at our meeting to present. So looking forward to seeing his presentation. So that's the Solid Waste Committee report. I'll submit that.
Okay, so I got a motion by Magistrate Gay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Magistrate Ellis. Any discussion on the report?
Yeah, Judge. Literally many years ago, when I put in a wood stove for the safety of my home, they said never burn wet wood because of the serious nature of the hydrocarbons and everything else, the creosote. And I don't want to surprise anybody, so I would hope that before these folks show up on how we burn efficiently without problems, that question will be asked, because my impression from what I learned years ago is we're going to have to put the wood under cover after it's dry, or we're going to have the same problems that Paul and I are concerned with the wood burner. So nobody's surprised. I think we ought to know what they have to say about creosote, hydrocarbons, anything else getting out in the air when you're trying to burn wood that right now everything we've got is exposed.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and then I also wanted to report on.
Let's vote on this motion.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
And the Martin Luther King Committee that I serve on, which is a city committee, met last night, and the county has been great to help support and fund this in partnership with the city, so I appreciate that. So the event is January 19th, and a couple of things though that are kind of happening soon. And Julie, I mentioned to her, I think she's going to help share this over our Fiscal Court Facebook page. But this coming Saturday, the 13th, at 2 o'clock, we're asking anybody that would like to participate in the community choir, which will perform 2 songs at the event. It's at Jenny Rogers Community Center at 2 o'clock. And Mr. Bobby Harris has agreed to direct the community choir. So we hope that they can hopefully get together and have 2 or 3 different practices leading up to the event. So this is a partnership, this event between the city, county, and Center College again this year. And so the event will be January 19th. The plan at this point in time is to gather at City Hall at 11:15. The march will start at 11:30 and proceed to the Norton Center. And from there, the program will occur. And Leon Williams is going to be the keynote speaker this year. So we'll have a youth joint choir between our local schools, and then we'll have the adult community choir, and then we also have some awards, and I want to talk about that in just a second. But also one of the things that's an exciting addition this year is the city and center are going to partner in providing a meal for the community at no charge in the dining hall after the event. So approximately 1:15-ish, we'll all move to the to the Cowan dining hall and enjoy a free break bread together, basically, as a community.
Sounds good.
And so we're excited about that. There also is, we started this last year, and there's a Danville Boyle County Spirit of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Award, and this will also try to get on our Facebook page, but the Danville Boyle County Spirit of Martin Luther King Jr. Award was established in '24 to recognize and honor, I gotta blow this up a little bit here, oh, excuse me. And honor residents of Danville, Boyle County who embody the ideals and legacy of Dr. King through their commitment to volunteerism, social justice, and community service. The intent of the award is to honor those unsung heroes who have gone above and beyond in their service to Danville and Boyle County. The award is presented annually by the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Committee during the community-wide Martin Luther King Day celebration. The 24 recipients were Glow Lewis and Clay Taylor, and so nominations, and on the post, you'll be able to see where to send these, but nominations are due by Monday, December 22nd of this year. So if you know of anybody that's, that you think would be a good nominee for that, please pass that along. And what we're going to do is this year, Center College also issues some awards within their college community. And so, but what we're going to do is have the college staff review and evaluate the nominees from the community, and have the community members on the committee review and award the Center College nominees, so we can kind of take out any bias that may be involved. But so that's the from that committee. And I would say that, like we did last year, the thing that I'm hoping that the fiscal court will agree and accept this recommendation again this year is, last year the court bought the 400 long sleeve t-shirts, and we're thinking, I'll get a better number here soon. We're working on getting our price number, but we're thinking that'll be somewhere along the lines of $3,500.
Okay, and we have some money in the budget, is that for Martin Luther King event? Yes, no?
I don't remember.
I think in the past we've built that into our sponsorship money that we've done for various things that we've sponsored.
And that's fine.
And that would be how we would want to hopefully find it in that pot.
Okay.
And then I also want to thank the organizers of the Christmas event downtown, and our people who put the float together. It's amazing, and unfortunately I have a prior commitment and won't be able to make the Junction City, but I'm sure it'll be another great evening. I did mention to the judge that if possible, it'd be great if we can all coordinate and be by the float as a group at the countywide Christmas party.
Yeah.
Because there may be a jolly old elf there.
There might be.
That might be able to have our
That's
photo
right.
with the float.
Is that tomorrow?
No, that's the 18th.
18th.
Next Thursday.
And then hopefully somebody can send out a list of all the holiday Christmas events that are coming up, because it's a lot coming in the next.
We'll work on that. We'll work on that.
Starting tonight, I guess.
Yeah. And I just want to say, in reference to the lunch, the little elves in my office have been contacting people, and the lunch for the county, with the courthouse, whole courthouse, and our other county departments, has all been paid for by donations. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Nice. Yep. Don't look so surprised, Mr. Cullen.
What's it gonna cost me?
Yeah, so I thought that was great. They've
great.
reached out and talked to people, that we do business with, or that we just support the county employees and support the county. And so all the food, the drinks, the desserts, everything have been donated. So.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. County Attorney.
Yes, I've been working on having my own county attorney website, so getting everything together for my office. I'm excited to have that. It'll just be a better resource to help people who need to know about Casey's Law and Marcy's Law, and also easier access to online fillable forms. So hopefully it'll be up at the end of 2025 or early 2026. Also, it was great to see Boyle County here today, celebrating the championship. One of the kids, Jack's Crow, his dad and I are best friends from Hawkinsville, and remember that Jiden Smith. He's about the same.
Unbelievable.
Jiden, Heisel or whatever. He used to hang out in my basement with my daughter and her friends last year. I'm like, how's that guy going to be the big running back for next year? I'm bigger than he is. But looks like he's bulked up, and he had an awesome year. So
he did.
That was really neat. Would say though that as they got recognized, I think that
You should work out with him. Bulked up too.
I would ask that we recognize our Boyle County girls soccer team, because they won the 2A state championship back in the fall. We have Miss Soccer Ellery Taylor, she got crowned Miss Soccer. That's like Mr. Football.
That's awesome.
And
Good state.
our coach got his 400th win, so I would just ask if sometime in the near future.
Can you arrange that?
Yeah.
Okay, if you can arrange that and let me know, we can do that either at our next meeting or we can do it first meeting in January.
Okay. Probably in January because I bet school will be out at our
22nd.
as our next meeting,
22nd?
22nd.
Mhm.
Yeah, they'll be out of school.
Friday,
so
that Friday before.
Let's
probably. Is that right? Friday before?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's Monday.
No, I'm talking about when they're out of school.
Oh,
Friday.
I think it's that Friday before.
19th, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I just
Well-
thought that would be cool to recognize it.
Well, if you can
Agreed.
get that done, for the first meeting in January, let me
Okay.
know, and then we'll
Yeah.
get it on the
Yeah.
agenda. That'd be great.
That'd be awesome.
That would be great, yeah.
And that's it.
Judge, that reminds me, and I suppose that might get in the way of the quick recall team, if they can't pull together after they're already out of school on Friday.
Mhm.
But I'm talking to their sponsors. so
If they can't come in
We'll do it in
December,
January.
do it first meeting in January.
Very good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
just
Jamie,
just need to let me know so we can
Gotcha.
get it on the
When's your
agenda.
bell ringing? I signed up.
December 20th.
Yeah,
December
make sure I get that on.
I was gonna make sure before I had to get a sign-up sheet for people to ring the Salvation Army bell. So the people that signed up, I will send you a text a couple days beforehand just to remind you.
Well,
Yes,
you mind
thank
going
you.
ahead and sending me one
Okay.
soon because I'm trying to sign up for another one. I just don't want to.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I have the list in my office.
Okay.
So I'll take a picture of it and send it to you.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
that'd
Thank
be
you.
good.
Did you get a Keiko stocking cap?
I didn't.
I'll give you one.
Oh, actually, are you talking about the black ones?
Yeah.
Okay, I did. Yeah, I do have that.
You might need it.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Julie, do you have anything?
Just a couple things. I spoke to Frankfurt last week about the bike park and any environmental concerns, and the gentleman I talked to said for what we're trying to do on the phase one, he didn't see any need for a permit unless we're gonna disturb the earth of the landfill, then you can do it, you just need to get a plan approved. So for phase one, Andrew will be doing that outer loop trail, and so there's no disturbing of the landfill, so he saw no need for any kind of permitting. Fred Kane, I don't know if I reported at the last meeting that we did get a structural report that everything's good on the roof, so we can proceed on with that. And I think they're working on recycling, so things are clicking into place there. And pickleball, we are met with the pickleball committee, did a Zoom last week, and I think it was a good meeting. Thanks to Magistrate Cullen for suggesting that. So I feel like the planning for pickleball is coming together. So the rest of it, nothing urgent in the sake of time.
Okay. I've got just a few things. I just want to reiterate. Today at 2 o'clock is America's 250th meeting. If you can come. Tomorrow is the City County VFW Luncheon, and that will be at the showroom from 11 to 1. All city and county employees are invited to attend. The Junction City Parade is Saturday night. The courthouse county state employees luncheon will be next Thursday, 12/18. Just remember that we have changed the next fiscal court meeting
Hold on,
to
we're at 12:18.
showroom again. And then 12/22 will be our next fiscal court meeting. So just want to remind everybody of
I'm
that.
gonna remember that.
I would be remiss if I did not wish my brother a happy birthday today,
Oh,
Chad
yeah,
Powell.
yeah.
Today's his birthday. I won't tell you how old he is, but he's in his last year of his 40s, so you all can figure that out.
30s, 40.
And he is a huge Rebel fan. He is always there on the sidelines. He's throwing the ball in and out to the team, and so he's there for every game. And I know he missed being here this morning because I told him they were coming and he ought to come. But we always adjourn in memory of someone, but today I would like to ask that we adjourn in honor of someone. My mother-in-law, Gladys Bottom's birthday is Saturday, and she is going to be 90 years old. And so I just thought it would be neat if we could adjourn in honor of her 90th birthday today. So whoever makes that motion.
Wait, are we going to executive session?
We are,
Okay.
but I'm just saying when we get ready
Okay.
to adjourn. Yeah, we are. Yeah. I'm just getting ahead of, making sure I got everything announced. So yes, now I would like a motion to go into executive session pursuant to KRS 61810, paragraph 1, paragraph B, deliberations on the future acquisition or sale of real property by a public agency, but only when publicity would be likely to affect the value of a specific piece of property or to be acquired for public use or sold by a public agency. I would also like to reference KRS 62810, paragraph 1, paragraph F, for personnel issues, and I just lost mine. There it is. Okay. For discussions which might lead to the appointment, discipline, or dismissal of an individual employee, member, or student without restricting that employee's members. I'd like to have a motion to go into executive session. Magistrate Bogner, is there a second?
Second.
Magistrate Harmon.
The one-armed man.
The one-armed man. All those in
He's
favor,
raising Cain.
signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Let's take a few minutes program tonight because I didn't get to go at noon.
This is 3 Tuesdays ago, feels like.
That's okay. Okay, we are live. Need a motion to return to regular session.
So moved.
No action taken.
Measure Gay, second by
No action was taken.
Measure Cullen. No action taken. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We're back in regular session. Okay, I think we're ready to adjourn.
I move we adjourn in honor of Gladys Pollom.
Yeah.
All right.
In her celebration of her 90th birthday party.
Thank you, Measure Gay. Second, Measure Bodner.
Yep.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Thank you all. See you on the 22nd. We're adjourned.
Jamie, did you get your nasal spray?